Yeah, we're actually live in Boulder right now, driving along Broadway, where I'm going to give you a look at the road conditions. Pretty slushy, actually, right here, which is interesting. We, about 10 minutes ago, were in South Boulder, where there was a good, I would say 4 to 6 inches of snow on the roadways. Yet here, when we travel just a bit north, we're just looking at slushy roadways. But again, measuring the snow, not scientifically like you, Anusha, with my hand in my yard, there was about 4 to 6 inches of snow. And of course, the snow is still falling down. A lot of wet, slushy, thick snow. We did see some branches down already in some neighborhoods. So obviously, the heavy part of the snow causing some of those branches to fall, which I know was a concern with power companies. Yesterday, I saw a lot of power companies out and about, making sure everything's looking good for this storm because they knew that it was going to be this wet, heavy snow. So far, so good. We haven't seen any crashes. We've seen a few cars, as you can see there on the roadways, but not a lot. I can tell you, it doesn't look like the city of Boulder has plowed yet. Here, not too bad, just some slushy streets, but in South Boulder, closer to Table Mesa, there is some pretty thick snow out on the roadways. So no plows, few cars, folks heeding the advice to stay indoors and watch this storm on TV. We'll be out and about throughout the morning, giving you updates on the roadways. For now, we'll send it back to you.
That really is the way to do it. If you don't have to head out in this, do not, because it is tough out there. It really is tough getting around. Keely, thank you.
Yeah, let's hope people continue to heed that advice throughout the day. Now, to help combat the dangerous road conditions, CDOT's already out clearing roads. I know Keely said that she didn't see any plows in Boulder, but we are seeing some in the Denver area. Denver Mayor Mike Johnston says all 54 snow plows will be out and about for the duration of this storm. Plows will make 2 passes every 24 hours on main roads, and they will also make their way down residential streets once every 24 hours. Here's actually a look at CDOT's plow tracker right now. They have teams all over the state clearing out the highways right there. It's all the little blue dots out there, which tells you there are quite a few deployed at this time.
I was behind one of those this morning, and I was so thankful. I'm telling you, the plow drivers this morning, they are the heroes. They're really making it so that you can get around if you have to get out.
Well, and you're doing the right thing, staying behind them. Remember, you got to give plows space to work. That's not only the law, of course, that's also for your safety.
Big time. Now, if you are going to be out on the roads today and tomorrow, we know there are those essential workers that do have to head out. So you should make sure your battery, tires, and wipers are all in good condition. Also, make sure to carry an emergency kit with you. Though CDOT's other big advice, again, if you don't have to head out on this, just don't, because it is tough. I saw a lot of spin outs on my way in this morning. As for that emergency kit we mentioned, here are a few things to make sure you put in there ahead of the storm: a cell phone charger, a blanket, first aid kit, bottled water and snacks, an ice scraper, and a flashlight with extra batteries. All things that my husband put in my car last night.
Good, okay, good.
Because he knew I was going to be heading out this morning. Now, the Denver Department of Housing Stability has opened 2 extra severe weather shelters. Those shelters are at the McNichols Civic Center building off of West Colfax Avenue and the Stone Creek shelter at the former Best Western Hotel off of Quebec Street. The shelters will stay open through 9 a.m. on Saturday. People experiencing homelessness can walk up to those locations directly, and pets are welcome at that Stone Creek shelter. Denver Parks and Recreation will also open up rec centers as daytime warming centers during regular business hours today and tomorrow. Each center will have a designated area available for warming with access to drinking water, restrooms, and a place to sit.
Now, for students that are not on spring break right now, they could have an extra day off. Right now, more than 200 schools and school districts are closed today. We've got a list scrolling on the bottom of your screen. We've also got a list on our website. You can find that on 9news.com/closings. Let's get a check the forecast now with Ed.
Well, one thing you want to know about the weather today these are the temperatures that we're seeing right now, and these may be the highs for the day. They'll be steady or falling all day long, and snow, plenty of it. Another 5 to 9 inches in Denver tonight, maybe 3 to 5 inches for overnight tomorrow, and then it finally moves out. And tomorrow we'll see snow early, sunshine late, and 40 seems to be a very popular temperature for tomorrow.
And right now we are seeing slick and slushy roads this morning, so if you do have to get out, here's some snow driving tips for you. Do not leave your car running unattended. Clear your lights, your windows, your mirrors. Make sure everything is good to go before you head out the door this morning.
All right, Brianna, thank you. Well, we have put everything you need to know about the storm in one easy place for you. That includes a link to the radar, the forecast, those closings we were just mentioning, and a lot more information to get you through this storm safely. All you got to do is text the word snow to 303-871-1491, and we're going to send you a text with all of that information. And we do have expanded coverage of this storm today right here on 9 News. Our live team coverage is going to last until 1 o'clock this afternoon, and a programming note to pass along. Because of our extended coverage, the Today Show is going to move over to KTVD starting at 7 a.m. this morning. Let's get you another live look outside. Of course, that snow continuing to fall this morning. Low visibility in many parts of the state. We're going to check in with Ed on how much snow we could get throughout the day. We are back now at 4:14, and spring break travel season is here. But of course, with this winter storm coming through today and tomorrow, it will impact your travel schedule.
Timing is everything, right? Man, already hundreds of flights have been canceled, sitting at more than 800 at last check. 9 News reporter Lauren Scafidi is live at the airport this morning. Lauren, tough day if someone had a flight planned.
Yeah, we can give you a couple updates on a couple things. Let's start with security this morning. The line really is moving pretty nicely. It's not wrapping around that corner out back like we have all seen it do way too many times. So the good news is that you'll move pretty quickly through security. I'm guessing that some of these people are maybe catching an earlier flight than they anticipated. That was the case for at least one family I spoke to. They said they were going to try to fly out tomorrow. That was their original plan, but they heard about the weather, and so they ended up booking something today. So they are good to go at 5:20, they tell me. So we'll see what happens there. But also worth noting, we're seeing a lot of people sleeping here in the hallway, which is not unusual to see at the airport, right? People taking a little cat nap before their flight or whatever it may be. But this one appears to be a little bit more planned. I saw pillows and blankets, and it looked like people were getting a good night's sleep here. So if you're not sleeping in the hallway, if you happen to be in a hotel close by like we were, want you to know that Pena wasn't too bad this morning. The roads were certainly wet, but there wasn't that wet, heavy snow on them. So good news is that you'll be cruising pretty much all right on Pena. But Jordan, Corey, I know that you are keeping track of the numbers. What are the newest numbers that you can tell us here at the airport this morning?
Right, so at last check, FlightAware had more than 800 cancellations. There it is, 801 cancellations, just 30 delays. I know, Jordan, you do have a flight planned, or you did.
I was supposed to have a flight planned. We went ahead and moved it to tomorrow. I was actually surprised to see that TSA looked that busy still this morning. That's one part of the challenge. Now it's going to be if planes can actually take off to wherever everybody's trying to get to go.
A lot of hopeful people out there this morning. As for your wait times, bridge security right now is closed. South Security Standard, 12 minutes. Pre-check 10 minutes. The west security checkpoint sitting at 8 to 12 minutes right now, with 3 to 5 minutes for that pre-check. Again, it just depends if the planes will actually be leaving.
And I think we got some of your snow pictures right there. We're going to show those off here in just a bit. Now, we have put everything you do need to know about this storm in one place for you. That includes a link to the radar, the forecast, the closings. There's quite a bit of them at this time, and a lot more information to get you through this storm as safely as possible. All you have to do is just text the word snow to 303-871-1491, and we're going to send you a text with all of that information. But right now, let's get you another check of the forecast with Ed.
All right, and what we've got is a four-letter word, all in capitals. Snow. That's right. We've got some snow up here in Aspen. You can see the ground is wet there. It is snowing like crazy up there in Breckenridge, as it is in many of the ski areas you saw from Matt. This is right in front of the 9 News building. We are snowed over. You can barely see a light right there, and here is the street. This is Spear Boulevard, but because we've got so much snow, let's take a look at this view, and it looks foggy, but that's the snow that is just coming down pretty heavily right now. We've got 35 degrees out at the airport at this hour, so it's that wet, heavy snow. Now, to the east of us, this shower and thunderstorm activity is really going to crank up. Might even see a few isolated tornadoes, but we've got a winter storm instead, so we're worried about snow and plenty of it. You can see the easterly flow. That's the upslope, the lift that we get, and that's what keeps the snow going. So as long as we have that easterly flow, we will just see the snow regenerate all day long along the Front Range, and the amounts are really going to add up. So here's the way it sits. Now, white represents the snow, but the purple within the white represents the heaviest of the snow, and that's what we will be seeing at 5 o'clock this afternoon. It'll still be coming down. Overnight, we see some snow, then it starts to get a little bit lighter. I think by noon, we actually start to see some sunshine and then go to sunny skies with the snow and everything staying down to the south of us. And by Saturday morning, we start to see clear skies, and we'll have a sunny day on Saturday, albeit on the cold side. Winter weather advisory continues for the blue shaded areas, and the red shaded areas, which is the heart of this storm system, continues. 10 to 20 inches of snow across the greater metro area. In the foothills, once again, 2 to 4 inches of snow is possible. Temperatures to go along with it, and really these are going to be the steady temperatures are falling all day long, mostly in the 40s and 30s over the eastern plains, 30s and 40s for the higher elevations, 20s, 30s, 40s out to the west. Lows tonight also on the chilly side, but not as cold as they could be. You can see 20s and 30s over the eastern plains, teens 20s for the high country, 20s and 30s out to the west. Here's your Denver forecast. Cloudy, snow, heavy at times, 35 degrees the high. Winter storm warning continues till 6 a.m. on Friday. Tonight, cloudy skies with additional snow, maybe 3 to 5 more inches, and 28. Then for tomorrow, clearing skies after a little early morning snow and 40 degrees, 45 on your Saturday. Springtime, or rather St. Patrick's Day, arrives on Sunday, 47 degrees, 55 on your Monday. Now there's springtime arrives at 9:06, so the first day of spring is Wednesday, which means we'll have 63 degrees.
And if you're heading out the door right now, we are taking a live look from 2 of our CDOT cameras. For those all the way heading up to Boulder, taking US 36 and Foothills Parkway, that is your left-hand camera. And then we're also seeing I-70, where we're seeing a lot of snowplows this morning. So we're not seeing a lot of cars out, so we're not seeing a lot of traffic this morning. Just one semi that's passing by for those taking US 36. So again, you probably want to avoid heading out the door because we are seeing those slushy and those slick conditions as well. So I do want to switch things over to our main graphics. You can see a very colorful traffic map that we're seeing here. That's because of the snowplows and, of course, all that snow. So let's get to your drive times for those heading out right now in Fort Collins. Let's see if our map starts working over here. For Collins, we're seeing delays. Oh, those speed times right now are coming in right around 25 miles per hour. And then if you're heading out all the way from I-225, we are seeing a lot of red in our screen, and we're seeing a lot of snowplows as well. So here we go. There we go. Our maps are working now. Now it's going to be a 14-minute drive if you're taking Commerce City, 76, I-225. It's going to be a 19-minute drive. And then all the way for those taking I-70, you will not be able to pass through. All the way in the mountains, that's because we're seeing road closures all the way from Golden to Silverthorne. So again, you are going to see a lot of snowplows in that area, a lot of semis. It basically looks like a parking lot out there from the camera that Matt Renew showed us earlier. So you definitely want to avoid this for that morning drive and just stay home and cozy up with that fireplace today.
Yeah, and I think that's some good advice, Brianna. Thank you. Again, we do have expanded coverage of this storm today on 9 News. Our live team coverage is going to last until 1 o'clock this afternoon. And a programming note for us to pass along to you right now. Because of this extended coverage, the Today Show will move to KTVD starting at 7 a.m. this morning. And we are tracking the storm and all of its traffic impacts very closely for you. Take us with you so you don't miss a thing. Download the 9 News app for free on the Apple or Google Play stores, or you can stream us for free on 9 News Plus.
Let's take another live look outside right now. This is Loveland Ski Area, the Eisenhower Johnson Tunnel there. Usually you can see Loveland there on the left and the tunnels there towards the right. And right now you can see visibility really tough. Coming up in 90 seconds, we're going to get another update from one of our crews braving the conditions to keep you safe this morning.
Good morning and greetings from Douglas County. Want to give you a live look out over the drive-in on I-25 heading north. You can see cars with emergency lights flashing in front of us and a couple of other cars kind of going around. This is not a fun drive this morning. The visibility is low. The roads are definitely not clear and it is very slow going. Seeing a couple of cars maybe going a little too fast for these conditions. So I recommend taking it slow, keeping your distance from everyone because, again, the visibility is not great and the roads are not clear at all. We're going to continue to kind of monitor what the road conditions are looking like in Douglas County, all through Parker and Lone Tree and into Castle Rock as well. Live in Douglas County, I'm Anusha Roy.
And I'm Matt Renew, live in Silverthorne in Summit County, ground zero for really where a lot of the traffic problems are in the mountains. This winter storm putting about 3-4 inches of snow in the Silverthorne, Dillon, Frisco area. Keystone doing really well from this storm with about a foot. But the bigger problem really is the traffic. I-70 eastbound has been closed since last night. As you can see, there is traffic on Highway 9 between Silverthorne and Dillon that has been sitting on the highway all night waiting for I-70 to reopen. We're going to be updating you on conditions all morning long. I'm Matt Renew, live in Silverthorne, 9 News.
And I'm Keely Chalmers, live in Boulder, where the snow is falling about 4 to 6 inches out there on the roadways. This road has just recently been plowed. We just saw a plow go by, but lots of snow. The snow continuing to fall down. And I have to say, just about, I'd say maybe 2-3 minutes ago, the lights went out here in Boulder. It was completely dark. And then about a minute later, they did come back on. So we have seen some down branches, lots of snow, a few cars, people taking it easy. We will be out here throughout the morning giving you an update on the snow and the road conditions. Live from Boulder, I'm Keely Chalmers. Back back to you.
It is rough driving conditions out there. Keely, thank you. All of the snow means a greater chance for dangerous avalanches. The Colorado Avalanche Information Center says closures for avalanche mitigation operations are a possibility today and tomorrow morning in Loveland Pass, Berthoud Pass, and around the Eisenhower Tunnel.
We want to control these avalanches. We want to bring them down under our terms instead of having them run naturally. Everybody should be prepared for these closures. And as everybody has said so far, staying out of these areas is very important over the next couple of days.
The CAIC will try to do their work when there aren't many cars on the road. If you do come across avalanche debris, they say do not drive through it. Here is a current look at the avalanche danger right now up in the high country. There is a high and considerable amount of warnings already, but there could be more later in the day.
Taking another live look outside right now. This time it's in the backyard. We're measuring the snow totals out there. And it's back with your forecast for the rest of the day here in just a moment.
And as far as our weather goes, yes, it is snowing out there, and it's going to snow all day long and going on the chilly side as well. Let's take a look at what we've got going on right now. And we do have some snow in Buena Vista right now, snowing like crazy up there, snowing like crazy right downtown. We have 35 degrees at this hour, 100% humidity. You see that easterly flow? That'll keep the snow going just about all day long and very heavy at times. Highs only in the mid-30s. We'll get to 40 degrees tomorrow, snow early, but sunshine as the day progresses. And then on Saturday, 45 degrees with partly cloudy skies, more of the same on Sunday. Going to be kind of a cool weekend, but we get to more seasonal conditions on Monday with sunny skies. And here comes Tuesday at 60 degrees.
All right, Ed, looking forward to that. Well, while our team is hard at work to keep you safe during the storm, we want to see your snow pictures this morning. Show what things are looking like where you are. You can text those to us at 303-871-1491. Already some incredible pictures coming in this morning. A lot of people measuring. Look at this snowman right here.
It is. That's going to be my life for the next 2 days with the kiddos. I mean, tubing, sledding.
It's some good snow for that, that's for sure.
It really is. It's that heavy, wet snow that really kind of sticks together. But you can see quite a bit of accumulation in a lot of these areas.
Yeah, in fact, we saw one picture where somebody had a ruler and I think said 13 inches.
Did already. Wow. So we are continuing to track snow across Colorado this morning. We have team coverage from the mountains to the metro area when 9 News Mornings returns.
And we are back at 4:31 now, taking a live look over downtown Denver and Boulder Arena. As you can tell, low visibility out there right now as we saw snowfall overnight. And we're going to continue to see it fall throughout the day. Another 5 to 9 inches, if you can believe it. Of course, this winter storm just getting started going into tomorrow morning. Now let's check out some video that came in from our Mark Salinger. He was driving on I-70 through Morrison yesterday evening when snow really started to come down. You can definitely see the visibility not the greatest, and there was a lot of slush on those roads as well. This morning, that snow still falling and will keep on falling throughout the day. We're going to have you covered all across the different parts of our state where we are seeing the heaviest of the snow.
Well, good morning, everyone. Happy snow day. Ed is joining us now. 5 to 9 more inches just today and more overnight.
Maybe 3 to 5 more tonight. So yeah, we've got still a lot of snow going on. And yesterday started out as rain, but then the colder air and the amount of snow falling overcame all the melting that we saw at first. And that's when it really started to pile up. So you got that wet, heavy, chunky snow around. Let's take a look at what we've got going on right now. And here it is, the winter weather advisory in the light blue shaded areas, in the red shaded areas, which does include the metro area. A winter storm warning until 6 a.m. on Friday. For the metro, 10 to 20 inches. Foothills, 2 to 4 feet of snow, even more could be possible. Here are the current temperatures, and these are pretty much going to be the highs for the day as well. Teens, 20s, and 30s pretty much across the state. A few 40s over the southeast at this hour. 35 degrees where we're headed today. Snow heavy at times. Winter storm warning continues again until 6 a.m. tomorrow. We see tomorrow at 40 degrees after some morning snow, and then we'll see some sunshine continuing Saturday with a high of 45, 47 on Sunday, St. Patrick's Day, 54 degrees on Monday, and then Tuesday, which is actually the last day of winter because spring arrives at 9:06 at night.
Ed, thank you so much. 4:33 is your time for this Thursday morning. Right now, we're giving you a live look from several of our CDOT cameras, and we have two scenarios here. I-225, and then I-25. It looks like snowplows have gone through this area. We can see the roads. Very different story than what we're seeing up in the mountains. You can see in this camera right here, this is right near Idaho Springs. We have some closures. The I-70 right now from Golden to Silverthorne, we're not seeing cars move. It basically looks like a parking lot out there. So I do want to switch things over to our main graphics, kind of show you those road closures, because you can see in our graphics right now, it is shaded purple. That's because eastbound and westbound this morning are closed. So you do not want to go down I-70 this morning. We also have another road closure, Loveland Pass, I-70 to Montezuma Road. So keep that in mind. And right around this time, we usually see these graphics, of course, green. It's, we're not seeing any delays. It's just all that snow and then the snow plows on top of that. So you want to give yourself plenty of extra time if you do have to get out the door. The good news, no crashes to report this morning.
Brianna, thank you. So this winter weather storm is going to cause some slippery and dangerous road conditions through the day, and plows will be out trying to keep up with the storm and keep those roads clear.
That's right. Joining us this morning is Matt Enzio with CDOT. Matt, good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you for being up early with us. We understand yesterday CDOT was saying that, a big focus was going to be the major interstates, trying to keep I-25 and I-70 open. How is that looking so far?
It's been a long night. As you saw, we're closed on I-70 between Golden and Silverthorne. So, through the high country, over the Continental Divide. We were worried that was going to happen yesterday. Given the rate of snowfall overnight, that's where we are. Our crews are still out working, but right now the snowfall has just been so intense that it is not safe for anyone to be on that road. Closer to town, again, crews are going to be in continuous passes all through the day. You can, if you need to, go slowly using I-25 and I-70. We still encourage people to limit their travel. That really is there if you absolutely need to leave your home or wherever you are that is warm and safe.
Yeah, Matt, I had to travel in on 470 and 25 this morning, and I will say plow drivers really are the heroes today. I know keeping up with this storm is really, really tough right now. What is the reminder for drivers if they do have to head out? We know there are essential workers that do have to get out. What's the reminder when it comes to plows on the roads today?
Well, certainly with plows, be especially mindful. Right now they are pushing very heavy, very wet snow. And so if you are in the vicinity of a plow, you want to give them plenty of space because they're going to be throwing something really heavy and that could impact your vehicle and make it unsafe. So give them the room that they need clear the roads as best that they can, and we're going to keep doing that through the day. Otherwise, again, for those folks like essential workers, people who absolutely have to leave and get somewhere, you need to treat this like the extreme weather event that it is. Extra clothing, extra food, a little bit of water. If your gas tank isn't as full as it should be, make that your first stop. Some of these are those hyper practical tips that sometimes we don't always pay the most attention to. On any given week or weekend, this is the time to absolutely be following those rules.
Well, Matt, we appreciate you being up early with us. We know this is crucial information for people at home to know. And of course, if you can help it, just stay off the road, stay warm, stay safe, and stay home. Matt, thank you so much for your time. This is a current look right now at the CDOT plow tracker. A lot of them are already out this morning trying to clear the roads for the morning commute. There are all the different blue dots there on your screen. As you can tell, there are quite a bit of them. Now, we continue our team coverage with our Anusha Roy. She is driving around live in the South Metro area. Anusha, as Corey was just describing her drive-in, sounded pretty scary. What's it like right now for you?
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with that one. I'm going to give you a live look here on I-25. We're going south. We just crossed Ridgegate, so we're still in the Parker area, headed towards Castle Rock. This is not a fun drive right now. Actually, the further south we're getting, the scarier it is getting. We were actually going north. We were just trying to find an exit ramp that we could take to kind of flip around, and it took us a while because we couldn't find an exit that felt safe enough for us to take. We're starting to see a lot more cars that are stuck on the side of the road, people driving with their emergency lights on. We just saw a semi truck that was being pushed and pulled by two other cars because it was stuck on the side of the highway. We're also surprisingly seeing a lot more people on the road at this point, especially for 4:30 a.m. in the middle of a snowstorm. One of the things that my photographer Joe and I have been noticing is that it does look like plows have been coming through, but then it's snowing so much that the snow is just piling up again on the road. And so, like we just heard from CDOT, I can imagine it has been a very, very long night. Even some of the inner roads that we saw parts of it were kind of cleared out, but then there were just piles of snow in the middle of the intersection as well. I mean, you can see we're going at, less than 20 miles an hour right now on I-25, and that feels like the only safe way to get through this area. Another stuck semi off to the right side over here as well. Want to give you a look into Boulder and the foothills as well, so we're going to send it over to Keely for a look at the conditions over there. Good morning, Keely.
Yeah, good morning. We are live, as you said, in Boulder. We're driving along Broadway, so let me give you a live look at the conditions right now. Right now, kind of slushy, wet snow. I'd say several inches, 4 to 6 inches of snow in my yard here in Boulder when I woke up this morning. We have seen several plows out. You can clearly see that this road has been plowed, but I have to say the snow keeps falling. So it keeps falling. So even though the plows get out there and plow the roads, they get snowy pretty quickly again. I'm gonna give you a look at some of the neighborhood streets. So a good several inches of snow has fallen. We have seen the plows out. I do want to point out that you do see some flashing lights, some signals flashing around here, and just about, I'd say about 30 minutes ago, the power went out here in South Boulder and stayed out just only about a minute and then came back on. But now some of these lights are flashing, and we have certainly seen downed branches out there because of the snow, very thick, heavy snow. So certainly power crews on alert that there could be some power outages. Again, not a lot of cars. We have seen plows, and they're doing a good job. Of course, we will keep you posted on the conditions out here driving around this area of town throughout the morning. And for now, we'll send it back to you as we travel through some pretty thick snow right now.
And speaking of those power outages, we're going to be talking to Excel here coming up in just a few minutes to see if they are experiencing any of that this morning. Again, we've been talking about just how heavy and wet this snow is, and so that can really cause some problems for trees and then down power lines as well.
Yeah, we know those energy companies are on standby should something like this happen so they can get power back to people pretty quickly. Again, we'll talk to Excel coming up here in just a moment. Right now, let's get a check of your forecast with Ed.
Well, let's take a look at our stats for the day, which could be rewritten as the day goes on. Going for a high of 35 degrees. That is a full 20 degrees below normal for this time of year, much closer to the normal low of 27 degrees. 78 is the record from 1935, and the record low, 10 below from 1880.
And right now I'm showing you two of our CDOT cameras, those road conditions all the way down south where Anusha Roy was just showing us a live look. Now this is I-25 and Plum Creek Parkway, and then Lincoln Avenue. You can see it is snow-packed. We are not seeing cars out on the road, and it is not the conditions that you want to be driving in right now. So definitely take it easy. If you really do have to get out, just of course give yourself plenty of extra time this morning.
Yeah, let's take another live look outside right now as well. Downtown Denver right now, it is going to be snow all day today. We're talking another 5 to 9 inches of snow on top of what you're seeing outside. That is just today, more overnight. We're going to check in with Ed on all the details coming up in just a minute. Welcome back. Right now we have some new video to show you from I-25 south near the Broadway Lincoln exit. This was around 3:30 this morning, about an hour ago. You can see emergency crews out there helping drivers at that time this morning. The viewer who sent this says they also saw some spinouts as they were making their way in this morning. I also saw a lot of spinouts this morning. There's just some really deep ruts. It is slippery. It's really tough.
And you think about this is a main interstate. So the side streets, you know, are even harder where people are going to be trying to get out of their homes to even get to a main thoroughfare that is going to be more groomed. And clearly it's piling up there too.
That was a big feat of mine this morning, just getting out of my neighborhood.
Right,
it was so rough. And let's take another live look at one of the mountain cans up in Eldora. Looks like they've already received at least a foot of snow. You can't even see the gauge there, but there is one. They're going to be seeing a lot more snow later today.
That's how you know it's a lot. Our man of the mountains, Matt Renew, is live up in the high country right now. Matt, we know that you were trying to make your way to the tunnel. Of course, we just talked to CDOT, who says I-70 closed from Golden all the way to Silverthorne, where you are this morning.
It is, Jordan, Corey. Good morning. As it has been since last night, eastbound I-70 closed here in Silverthorne yesterday evening, and it has been closed all night. That's the closure right there here in Silverthorne, and you can see plow truck with CDOT moving on through Highway 9 right there, try to keep that portion of the road clear. But eastbound I-70 has been closed, with Highway 285 south of here closed as well. It's really caused a bottleneck of traffic here in Summit County, Silverthorne, Dillon, Frisco, where cars just have no place to go right now. Well, the scene behind me right here are semis, pickups, pickups and other cars that have just decided they would park on the side of Highway 9, which runs between Silverthorne and Dillon, and then just wait this thing out until the interstate opens. But it, again, has not opened since last night, and so it's been a long wait. And then you could even pan this way, and this is just one of the parking lots here in Silverthorne, and you can just see everybody just been sleeping in their cars or semi trucks waiting this thing out. And so this comes at a time that's a bit unlucky because it's spring break, and so there's a lot of people in the county right now skiing, and so hotel rooms were already pretty full. Really no place for anybody to book a hotel room. And so, Corey, Jordan, you know, you got to do what you got to do. People camping in their trucks here and have an extended vacation in Summit County.
I mean, as we've been saying, Matt, timing is everything. That's another factor we didn't think about, that occupancy is pretty low at this time, or vacancy, I should say.
Yeah, I mean, very, very, very busy time right now when it would already be tough to find a hotel room, but then you start having all this influx of traffic move in, and it's nearly impossible. So people just camped out in their cars enjoying the snow.
Yeah, timing is everything for sure. Matt, thank you. We want to get back over to Anusha Roy. She is south of the metro area, and Anusha, like we both know, we live out south. It is rough out there this morning.
Okay, Corey, I couldn't agree more. This is probably the worst that we have seen it right now. We are literally sitting at a standstill on I-25 near the Castle Pines exit right now. This car in front of us has been struggling at this point just to get any kind of movement. We've got a bunch of semi trucks, at least 3 or 4 as far as I can see, that are stuck on the highway right now or not moving. This car seems to be coming a little too close to us at this point, so we might want to tell them to stop so that they can see us. Saw a tow truck going by on our right side. Other cars trying to go around us. I mean, it's a total mess. It makes sense because we crossed Ridgegate, kept going towards Castle Rock, and then it's just like visibility just dropped off. The snow was thick. We couldn't see anything. And then this area is just at a complete standstill. We're going to try to get ourselves out of this situation as far away from this car as possible because we're not exactly sure what's going on. And we know that a lot of people are struggling on this stretch of 25. Please avoid it if you can. We'll continue to monitor the road conditions here in Douglas County and the South Metro area. For now, we're going to send it back to you, Corey and Jordan.
Yeah, let this be a warning for everybody at home watching this, thinking that maybe they can get out on the roads. This is why we're saying if you can, stay home. Anusha and Joe, please be safe out there. Your safety is everything to us, so we appreciate your reporting. Of course, Corey, the second you walked in, that's what you said to me. You said, I mean, how many snowstorms have we covered? And you said this is the worst that you've driven in.
I'm telling you, I mean, I've been here in Colorado for 14 years. I've covered a lot of snowstorms. This was by far the worst one I've had to drive in this early in the morning. It really is deep. Those snow ruts are deep, and it is very slippery out there. And Ed, we're expected to get so much more today.
Yeah, we will get at least double what we have on the ground right now. That's another 5 to 9 today and another 3 to 5 overnight before it all winds down. But this is the storm system we've been talking about since the last week. And boy, it really came into play exactly as we thought. Here's Glenwood Springs. Yeah, they got the Hot Springs pool up there. They got snow melting into that pool. Snowing like crazy in Breckenridge at this hour. Also snowing downtown. As you can see, these foggy conditions, that's actually snow that is coming down. We're 35 degrees out at the airport right now. That could be our high for the day. Showers and thunderstorms off to the east. Their problem is going to be maybe some tornadoes with heavy storms. We have the winter side. Much colder air, so it's all snow around here. The white represents the snow, but the purple inside the white, that's the heaviest of the snow. So that's what you have to look at when we see this. And there is that purple. Here it is this afternoon or this evening at 6 p.m. Still heavy snow across the Front Range and snows for the higher elevations, especially over the southwest. Then as we get into tomorrow morning, early 6 a.m., we see the snow, but now you see the snow sort of ending, and it will continue to do that. By noon, we could see a little bit of sunshine, and then we could see much clearer skies all along the Front Range with a little snow winding down in the high country. And this is at 6 p.m. on Friday. So yes, once again, we have the winter weather advisory in effect till 6 a.m. as we do with the winter storm watch. We have 10 to 20 inches of snow right here in the metro area. Foothills once again could see up to 4 feet of snow. As we take a look at the temperatures then, I don't know where that 50 is. Look at how it's warm here with the cold air just to the east of it. And you can see that upslope conditions conditions with the 30s and 40s over the eastern plains, 30s and 40s for the high country, all the way to the western slope. Lows tonight in the 20s and 30s east, teens 20s for the high country, 20s and 30s out to the west. So we're going to stay chilly for a while. Cloudy, cold today, only 35 degrees for the high. That's 20 degrees colder than normal for this time of year. Snow will be heavy at times, and that winter storm warning in effect till tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. Cloudy skies tonight. 28 will be the low with an additional 3 to 5 inches of snow overnight. Then finally we see the snow ending tomorrow morning. By noon we start to see a peek at the sunshine, a high of 40 degrees as the day goes on. We'll see more clearing. 45 on your Saturday, pretty much more the same on your Sunday. 55 Monday, 60 on Tuesday as spring arrives at 9:06. So the first day of spring, 63 degrees and partly sunny skies, and a little change for your Thursday.
Ed, thank you so much. Right now, we are tracking our first crash of the morning. If you're heading up to Boulder, this is what you can expect. We're seeing a lot of crews out on scene right now. US 36 eastbound at 104th Avenue. So it looks like several vehicles are involved. We're seeing a lot of police out there. We're seeing snowplows out there as well. It looks like this vehicle spun out. CDOT is moving our camera so we can get a better view of this crash, but you can see a very active scene out there. And this is why you should definitely stay home, because road conditions right now, it is not going to be a fun drive. So I do want to switch things over to our main graphics, kind of show you where this crash is happening. So again, US 36 eastbound at 104th Avenue. Right now we have 2 lanes blocked off. Crews and have that 2 lanes blocked off, the left lanes. So of course, drivers have to use that right lane. So if you're heading out the door right now, heading into Boulder, once you pass that crash, you should be good to go. You are going to be in the green. So that is going to be a 23-minute drive. Again, definitely want to avoid this area. And of course, I-70 Golden to Silverthorne. We've talked about it. Matt Renew has given us live looks. Basically looks like a parking lot out there. We have a lot of semis, we have a lot of cars, people sleeping in their vehicles. Again, that's because I-70 right now, it is closed. So do not take I-70 if you have to this morning.
Great advice, Brianna. Thank you. Now, if you had a flight booked for today, it is not looking great.
No, it's not. We definitely have to rebook out there. 9 News reporter Lauren Scafidi joins us now live from Denver International Airport, where there are already hundreds of cancellations this morning, Lauren.
Yeah, we're talking 801 cancellations, 33 delays. But the good news, if you are coming to the airport this morning, security is going to be a breeze, at least for now. A lot has changed in even just the last half hour. It was looping around the side just a little bit, but now you can see there's really no line at all. People are flying right through security. So that is the good news, that if you are making your way here today. Again, there are 801 cancellations, 33 delays. The people that I've talked to today so far this morning, it's been very consistent. First of all, everybody is happy because they are getting on their flight, but they're happy because they're getting on a flight that they rebooked. Nobody that I have talked to is getting on the flight that they initially had planned this morning. So again, 801 cancellations, 33 delays. We'll check back in the next half an hour or so just to give you a look to see if you are coming to the airport, what you'll be up against.
Yeah, and Lauren, we just want to clarify really quickly with you, as someone who had a flight today that booked for another day just in case it was canceled with this weather, are people able to get on flights today? Is that what they're telling you?
Yeah, everybody says that they are getting on flights this morning. I talked to people. One person had a flight at 5:20, another person had one at 7 o'clock, and another person at 11. And so far, those are all good to go. So they're happy they're at least getting on a flight. It wasn't their flight that they were supposed to, but it is a flight. So I would say overall, people are happy here.
Okay.
And we know that they have a lot of equipment out there at DIA to be able to do this. So that is great news for a lot of people who are heading out, especially for spring break.
Truly.
Lauren, thank you. We do want to check back in with Anusha because earlier we were seeing a spin out there with her. How's it looking now?
Yeah, okay, so a little bit better. So we were able to go south of that spin out. We saw basically what we were seeing was a stuck car and then a bunch of semi trucks stuck behind it and then more cars stuck behind that. And it came to a standstill by Castle Pines going on I-25 south. We were able to go around that. We were trying to find an exit ramp, which honestly was very challenging because we can't really see much right now on I-25. We were able to get off of it, off the highway for a little bit. We're back on on it. We keep just seeing spin out after spin out and people stuck on the side of the road. You know, I think the roads are being plowed, but the problem is that the snow is coming down so hard right now that it just keeps covering up anything that has been cleared, and trying to give you a live look out on the I-25, but the fact that you can't really see much is basically telling you everything you need to know about this stretch of I-25 and why CDOT was so concerned about I-25 heading into Castle Rock, south into Monument ahead of this storm. And absolutely, if you can avoid it, stay off this stretch of highway, stay home if you can. It is the safest choice, especially with what we're seeing right now. We are live in Douglas County. I'm Anusha Roy.
And Anusha, thank you very much. As we take a look at Buena Vista, they have snow going on like crazy up there. In fact, if you see that light just to the left there, but snowing, you can see the snow going by that like crazy. We've got snow downtown, also like crazy, 36 degrees right now. Look at the humidity, 97%. So we've got those cloudy skies along the Front Range, along with snow, heavy at times, even showers and thunderstorms over southeastern sections of the state right now. Only in the mid-30s today with snow all day long. We'll see snow early tomorrow morning, then it starts to clear out. Sunshine by afternoon, clear skies by 6 p.m. Then for Saturday, 45 degrees and fair conditions, 47 on your Sunday. Monday, we're at 55 degrees, and Tuesday, 60 degrees with sunny skies.
60 sounds really nice right now.
Especially now, yeah.
Yes. Let's take another live look outside right now. Downtown Denver and Ball Arena coated in snow. Of course, we are following this big snowstorm all over the state today. We have team coverage. We'll get a check in with all of our reporters out there in just a few minutes. Good Thursday morning, taking a live look right outside the 9 News studios here at Spear and Logan. You can see that flag whipping around and a lot of snow no matter where you look right now.
Yeah, let's head up north. This is how things are looking in Greeley. Pretty dark to tell right now, but we do know that they are in for some snow of their own. We'll get a check of those totals coming up.
And a live cam view of the snow falling on Durka Mountain in Keystone. We know that the resorts are going to get a lot of snow, some fresh powder from the storm just in time for spring break travelers.
And we have team coverage this morning. Our crews are tracking the storm from the Front Range all the way to the high country.
We begin though with Ed, who is in the 9 News backyard. Ed, we are expected to get several more inches today into tonight.
Yeah, we do. We'll see at least another foot, I think, through today and into tonight. We have a little low. When you get a volatile system like this, you will get little things where we only have some, you see the winds blowing around here, but we have some light snow going on right now. The next time we're out here, it'll probably be snowing like crazy. That's the way this system will work. So as you take a look, you've seen this over the past couple of days, the winter weather advisory in the blue shaded areas, winter storm warning in the red shaded areas. That's for 10 to 20 inches across the metro area, foothills up to 4 feet of snow. Here are the temperatures we're seeing right now, and these may be the highs for the day. They'll be steady or falling as the day goes on. Only in the 30s and low 40s over the eastern plains. We're looking at teens and 20s for the high country. Out west, temperatures mostly in the 20s and 30s. So today, cloudy, cold snow, heavy at times, another 5 to 9 inches for today. 35 degrees the high. That's the daytime high. And then for tonight, we will see snow again, another 3 to 5 inches. Tomorrow, snow early, but sunshine late with a high of 40, and then 45 degrees with partly sunny on Saturday. More of the same on your Sunday. 54 for Monday. And look at your Tuesday, 60 degrees for the spring arriving at 9:06.
Ed, thank you so much. 5:01 is your time for this Thursday morning. Right now, we're taking a live look from two of our CDOT cameras. If you're just waking up, we're talking about this crash for those heading up to Boulder. So this is US 36 right at 104th Avenue. So that is the eastbound lanes. You can see we're seeing an active scene out there. We're seeing a lot of crews, and we're seeing 2 left lanes blocked off. So folks who are taking US 36 right now have to take that right lane, and of course, only 1 lane is open. Once you pass that crash, though, you should be good to go. But of course, those roads right now is a mess. You do not want to take US 36 if you're heading up to Boulder, maybe Golden, I-70, that area. So I do want to switch things over to our main graphics, kind of show you where this crash is happening and what you can expect if you're taking US 36. Again, eastbound at 104th Avenue, 2 lanes blocked off. And then once you pass that crash, you should be good to go. That's going to be a 22-minute drive. And of course, we are in the green right now. Now, expect delays at Denver International Airport today and tomorrow. United, Delta, as well as Southwest are allowing anyone to book a flight through Friday to reschedule their flight for free. So American and Frontier are rescheduling today as well. The airline's notices also covers airports in Colorado Springs, Aspen, Steamboats, and then Grand Junction as well. Right now, FlightAware is reporting 33 delays, 801 cancellations at the airport. 9 News reporter Lauren Scafidi, she joins us live from the airport. Good morning, Lauren. What are you seeing out there?
Good morning. Yeah, you mentioned that rebooking. That's been the case for a lot of people. Actually, everybody that I've talked to this morning, they say they're not getting on their original flight, but they are getting out on a different one this morning. Now, you have got to see this. We've talked about the lines dwindling a little bit at security, but check this out. There is hardly a line. I mean, there's no line. I don't think I've ever seen this at Denver International Airport. So good news if you are on your way this morning, at least in the next couple of minutes, you are going to cruise right through security. Absolutely no line at all at the top of the hour. Also worth mentioning, when we first got here, there were about a dozen people sleeping in this hallway. And this wasn't just like the cat nap that, you typically see at the airport in the morning or in the afternoon. People had pillows and blankets. It looked like it was a scheduled sleep in the airport. But now there are really just a handful of people, maybe 2 in the hallway compared to a dozen when we first got here about an hour ago. But so far, the consensus is that everybody is just happy to be getting on a flight this morning. I thought that we were going to see some pretty miserable people this morning, right? But everybody was just happy to be getting on a plane. But that's what's happening here at Denver International Airport. Let's check in with Anusha Roy. Anusha, what are you seeing this morning?
Hey, good morning, Lauren. Yeah, so we have officially made it into Castle Rock right now, trying to give you a live look out onto I-25. We just passed the outlet malls. We started off in Parker, making our way to Castle Rock. That's usually a 10-15 minute drive. Took twice as long just because of all of the problems that we've been seeing on 25. Cars that are stuck, semi-trucks that are stuck, people who just are slipping and sliding and stuck in the snow. I'm glad to actually see that we don't have any company right now, because it makes us feel a little bit better on the road with these kind of conditions. The visibility is very poor right now, and even though plows are coming through, the snow is coming down so much that it's just basically covering up anything that has been plowed out, and we're seeing snow. It's a little bit hard to see on this shot, but it's actually starting to pile up towards the barrier in the middle of the highway. This is the stretch we're heading towards, you know, that monument area. Might not actually make it all the way there, just because CDOT was warning that this could be a really tricky stretch of highway with this storm, especially since we're only partially the way through it right now, and it's already been pretty problematic this morning. Again, so it's really slow going, a lot of people stuck, a lot more people on the road than you would expect. A lot of people, and including ourselves, driving with our hazards on. We haven't really gone above 25 miles an hour on on I-25 right now. We'll continue to keep monitoring the situation here, see how far south we can go before we feel like we need to turn it around just to keep it safe on our end. In the meanwhile, we're going to send it over to Keeley for a look into Boulder of how the road conditions are over there.
Yeah, good morning, Anusha. We are actually on Highway 36. We're in the Westminster, kind of Broomfield area right now, heading westbound on 36. So I'm going to go ahead and give you a look at the highway, and you can clearly see that the plows have been out. When my photographer Manny Sotelo was coming toward Boulder probably a couple hours ago, it had not been plowed, he said, but things starting to look better. We're actually being able to see a little bit of pavement. I tell you, coming eastbound on 36, you couldn't even see the lanes. I mean, it was totally snow covered, couldn't see the lines. We saw several cars that had spun out along the side of the road. At one point, we saw one car actually traveling toward us, going the wrong direction on Highway 36. So it was a mess, and is likely still pretty tough driving conditions up there closer to Boulder. But again, we are traveling westbound on Highway 36. Things so far so good on this side, but again, heading the other direction, things were looking a little tough. I can tell you that the plows are out, certainly getting that snow scooped up, but as soon as they come through, I'll tell you what, the snow is continuing to come down, so it continues to pile up. Up there in Boulder, we've seen several tree branches down because of the wet, heavy snow. We also at one point lost power up there in South Boulder, but only for about a minute. It did end up coming back on, but again, I know crews have been out prepping the lines, making sure that they have some backup power, and the power did come on within about a minute. But again, Highway 36 looking pretty good heading toward Boulder. It has been plowed, but again, travel slow. We have seen spinouts, and of course, the best advice is to stay off the roads. We are live, I think now in Broomfield along Highway 36. We'll keep monitoring the roads and give you updates throughout the morning.
All right,
you guys.
We appreciate, as you can tell, the plows right there. They are doing the best they can. We're very thankful for all the plow drivers out there this morning, but of course the snow is falling down at such a fast rate. It's just covering the roads right back up.
Yeah, it's hard to keep up with it, but they are the real heroes this morning, being out there and trying to keep it clear and safe for us. The snow is forcing RTD to reschedule a career fair that was set to happen today. The event to add more bus drivers will now take place 2 weeks from today on March 28th at the Crowne Plaza Denver Airport Convention Center. The event will run from 9 a.m. until 3 p.m.
This morning, as we try to keep you safe, we do want to see what it's looking like where you live. Send us your snow pictures. You can text those to us at 303-871-1491. Now, do you think you can top this snowman?
Impressive.
This is impressive. This is the kind of good snow for a snowman, too. So Brad and Becca sent us this pic of the masterpiece they made in Highlands Ranch. Corey, I think they're challenging you and your family.
Bring it on. But this is going to be our life for the next couple days. It's going to be great tubing and sledding, and it's that heavy, wet snow that you can make the snowman with.
And this is part of the reason we're saying to stay home. Not only is it for your safety, but you got plenty to do around there, whether it's shoveling those sidewalks or just having fun with the family.
And we know most of the major school districts are out today for a snow day. You got to get that energy out somehow, right? So send them out and make a snowman.
Becca and Brad, that looks awesome right there.
Well done. And here are a couple of the other pictures that you guys have sent in to us. Look at all this snow on the patio furniture. We've actually seen a couple snowmen already this morning.
And you can't see, so this picture right now that's in the top right corner, it's a ruler in the snow. I believe it was at about 13 inches last time.
Yeah, and you know several more inches probably have fallen since they've taken that picture because it's falling at such a rapid rate. We also want to show you a couple of the videos that you've sent in to us this morning. This is I-25 south near the Broadway Lincoln exit. This was around 3:30 this morning. You can see emergency crews were out helping drivers at that time of the morning. The viewer who sent this says they also saw some spinouts as they were making their commute in. I saw several spinouts as well this morning. Earlier this morning, this was the view from the Hampton Monaco area south of downtown. Check out those snowflakes. The Johnson family shared this video, the size of the flakes that they were seeing fall, and it's really just increased over the last couple of hours.
Big flakes and coming down at a pretty fast rate.
Right, so we're going to be tracking this storm, all of its traffic impacts. We're of course going to be covering DIA for anyone traveling out today, and all of the closures, more than 300 closures today as well. You can always stay up to date on our 9 News app or streaming on 9 News Plus.
And let's take a look at what we've got going on right now. Here is the latest radar and satellite picture, and you can see a little dry slot moving right into Denver. But if you look to the east of that, there is the snow redeveloping. So yes, we'll see little breaks in this storm off and on, but then the snow will redevelop. We're seeing highs from Aurora all the way north to Greeley, only in the low to mid 30s today, and another 5 to 9 inches of snow could fall.
In a live look from our CDOT camera of I-70, you can see that snow coming down fast along I-70 near the Eisenhower Tunnel. What you're seeing right now is basically a parking lot. Cars have absolutely nowhere to go. That's because I-70 is closed both directions from Golden all the way to Silverthorne this morning.
Heavy snow means down trees and possibly power lines. We're on the phone with Excel after the break talking about any outages they're seeing this morning.
We are back now at 5:15. This is a live look from our crew driving in the Superior area. Ed's going to be back with your forecast in just a couple of minutes. As you can tell, that snow still coming down. Of course, you are going to see some cars going a little bit faster, like you just see right here from our crew. Please be safe out there. We've got crews around the area with a look so that you do not have to get out yourself. And XL has been, of course, working to ensure if power does go out, it doesn't go out for too long.
They have so many crew on standby today just in case. We have Andrew Holder with XL Energy joining us live now on the phone. Andrew, good morning. Are you seeing any outages yet?
Good morning, and thank you for having me on this morning. I loved what you guys touched on. We do have a number of crews that are stationed throughout the state. We have 165 employees and crew members that are kind of strategically placed to restore power as fast as possible. As of 5:06 this morning, we do have a couple of outages that are impacted with the weather that we've seen. We have 253 outage orders affecting about 27,000 customers. Most of them are along the Front Range and the Boulder to the east or the west metro area. So crews have been responding and working to assess the damage to get the power restored efficiently and safely as possible.
And Andrew, we understand that you guys have been preparing for the storm, actually deploying your team out early just to be in spots that you thought might cause trouble.
Absolutely, sir. And we do have, like I mentioned, 165 crews. We have a number of different service areas throughout the state. We also have 5 or 6 different service centers along the metro area and into the Boulder region. So crews are, they've been prepped since yesterday. We have crews that are on standby 24/7 to get called out once we get notifications that we do have a power outage, and they can respond accordingly.
And Andrew, just know Colorado is so thankful for XL workers being out and ready to go because we know that this snow is so heavy and wet. I saw a lot of your crews out yesterday doing things all around the metro area. What were you guys doing in advance to prepare for this?
So I think there was a number of different things. We outside of staffing up and making sure that we have the materials on site, we make sure that we have a number of internal prep calls to make sure that we're all kind of organized internally. But we also work with our customers to make sure that they can prepare and stay safe. Getting information away to tell them to stay away from down power lines, tell them to leave the area and to call our numbers. Customers can also keep their natural gas meters clear from snow and ensure they're properly functioning. We also put some information out that you could charge your EV beforehand if you have any traveling destinations here today. And then also to have customers build a home emergency kit, have battery-powered appliances, backup phone chargers, bottled water, non-perishable food, and also some extra batteries so that they can stay comfortable and safe through this winter season.
Well, Andrew, I hope you and your whole team knows just how thankful we are for the work that you guys are doing to make sure you can keep everybody safe and warm and the power on for a lot of people during this storm. So please pass along our thanks to your team. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for having me this morning, and thank you to all the crews and the members of the XL team for keeping the power on, and everybody stay safe out there. Thank you.
Big time. All right. Thank you so much. Let's get a check of the forecast now. Ed is joining us. Ed, we've been telling people stay home if you can, but there are essential workers that do have to head out, and so that's what you're here for, and you're saying a lot more snow coming today.
Yeah, there could be more snow today, another 5 to 9 inches overnight into tomorrow morning. We could see another 3 to 5 inches after that. So the snow is not over yet, although in some areas they're seeing a little break in this snow. Here it is in Aspen, and we have some snow going on right now. Breckenridge snowing like crazy up there, as you might expect. In Winter Park, it is also snowing very heavily. And right downtown here, you see the flags kind of blowing around. We've had a little break in the snow, but it will reform and continue with this upslope as the day goes on. 36 degrees is where we sit right now out at the airport. Showers and thunderstorms off to the east of us. They're dealing with heavy thunderstorms, maybe even a few tornadoes. We're on the cold side of that. So we've got snow, as you can see, across the state today. We have a little system that is just a little dry slot just moving right in. You can see that dry air in, and then the snow already starting to come right back up along the Front Range. So that's the way it could be, off and on with those little dry slots kind of moving in, and then more snow develops right behind it and up and down the Front Range. So that's what we are seeing as far as the snow goes right now, and we will see that snow continue today. The white represents the snow. The purple within that white, that's the heaviest of the snow. And at 6 o'clock tonight, you see that stretching all the way from the border right through the metro area. So yeah, this snow is not going to let up. Tomorrow morning we see a little bit lighter snow, and then by noon we see a little bit of sunshine, and then things begin to clear out. So as we take a look, still have that winter weather advisory for the light blue shaded area and the red shaded area, which includes the metro area. We have a winter storm warning till 6 a.m. on Friday. 10 to 20 across the metro foothills could see up to 4 feet of snow from this system. So the highs today only in the 30s and 40s over the eastern plains. Will be steady or falling temperatures. We'll see 30s and 40s for the high country. Guess what? 30s and 40s out to the west as well. Lows tonight, mostly 20s and 30s east, teens 20s for the high country, 20s and 30s out west. So here's your forecast. Cloudy, cold today. We'll see 35 degrees and snow could be heavy at times. That winter storm warning, you know, is in effect until 6 a.m. on Friday. 10 to 20 inches is possible. Cloudy skies with 28 degrees and snow, an additional 3 to 5 overnight. And then we'll see 40 degrees for tomorrow with clearing skies, 45 on Saturday. We'll see Sunday at 47, more of the same. That's St. Patrick's Day, of course. 55 on Monday, 60 as spring arrives at 6:09 in the evening. So the first day of spring, nice. 63 degrees on your Wednesday. Thursday, we're at 60.
And thank you so much. Right now, we're giving you a live look from several of our CDOT cameras across the mountains, the Denver metro area. So right now, I-70, this is what we're experiencing. Traffic right now at a standstill. It is a parking lot out there. That's because cars have absolutely nowhere to go. I-70 shut down at the moment from Golden to Silverthorne. Then we have US 36 where we did have a crash earlier. If you were heading up to Boulder. Now I-25, this is 2 locations right now that Anusha was giving us earlier throughout the morning. Plum Creek Parkway and then Lincoln Avenue. Right in this area, you can see, we can't see the road at the moment. That is because it is snow packed. The only reason I know that the road is open is because we are seeing cars move through that area very slowly. So again, you want to give yourself plenty of extra time if you're heading out the door. Now here in our maps, we're seeing a very colorful map. Usually around this time, it is green. Of course, no crashes to report, just a lot of snow. Give yourself plenty of extra time. Snow plows are out. They're making sure that it is safe for you to drive, especially in our major interstates, I-25, I-225, I-70, of course. So I-70 Golden to Silverthorne, you won't be able to pass through. Then we have Loveland Pass, I-70 to Montezuma Road. That's also shut down. So if you're heading out the door, DTC to downtown, it's going to be a 24-minute drive. And you can see we're very slowing down on the southbound lanes. That's going to be a 39 miles per hour if you're heading out the door this morning.
All right, Brianna, thank you. Well, CDOT's plows have been working all morning to clear the roads. Denver Mayor Mike Johnston says all 54 snow plows are out and about for the duration of this storm. Plows will make 2 passes every 24 hours on main roads, and they'll also make their way down residential streets once every 24 hours. Now, this is a map of the current plow tracker right now. You can see a lot of them deployed already this morning, working to clear off those streets. As they are out, though, of course, that snow continuing to fall, making their work a little bit more challenging this morning. We are warning you. It is not too wonderful out there right now. We saw a lot of spin outs on our way into work this morning, so please be safe if you absolutely have to go out. If you do not, it is our strong recommendation you just stay home and stay warm. Colorado State Patrol wants you to be mindful of any plows you do see on the roads. Of course, this means that drivers should take extreme caution anytime they're near plows. CSP says when 2 or more plows are in this formation, do not pass. It's not only the law. That's for your safety as well. Now, remember back in 2019, Governor Polis actually signed a law increasing penalties for drivers who pass plows. Any plows with lights on and in formation, regardless of which agency runs them. Passing brings fines and potential points added to your license as well. You don't want that. CDOT says it's best to stay 3 to 4 car lengths back from a plow. That's exactly what you did this morning.
It's actually the best place to be. Stay far back, but they're plowing it right in front of you, so it really makes it easier to get to where you're going if you do have to head out the door. And we know there are a lot of essential workers that do have to get out, so please give them room. Once the plows go through, you're clear to party. The storm won't stop Denver's St. Patrick's Day parade on Saturday. The snow is expected to move out by tomorrow morning, then 24 hours to get some of that melt off before the parade starts on Saturday. The parade starts downtown at 9:30 in the morning, beginning at the corner of 19th and Wynkoop. The parade committee says the streets and the Coors Field parking lot will be plowed. Welcome back. Taking a live look outside right now, downtown Denver and Ball Arena, where you can see it is just blanketed in snow. And that's what you're going to see anywhere you go right now in Colorado, and more to come. Ed has details coming up in just a couple of minutes. But our man in the mountains, Matt Renew, joins us live from the high country. He's in Silverthorne this morning. Quite the snow day up there, Matt.
It has been snowing, Corey, a lot in the mountains. A strange storm, you know, and what we've seen in certain pockets around Summit County and the high country. But what hasn't been strange is the usual effect of a snowstorm in the mountains, and that's the big effect it has on traffic. Eastbound I-70 closed yesterday night. We're coming up to 10, 11 hours of this eastbound closure here at Silverthorne. And what you're looking at behind me is Highway 9 between Silverthorne and Dillon, which is now a bit of a parking lot with semis and cars that have pulled over on the side. They've got nowhere to go. A lot of these people have been sleeping in their cars throughout the night, waiting for the interstate to reopen. That has not happened because of adverse weather conditions and just too treacherous to put traffic back onto the interstate while CDOT works to try to clear out this portion of the mountain highways. And again, it's closed from Golden to Silverthorne, both directions, but this is the eastbound closure. So people heading east, this is the western stop right here, and they're not going any further. To pan the camera around here, you can see it's just a line of cars. There's another semi right there, and it just keeps going all the way on up into Dillon. And so this closure is the real deal. And there's also people parked in parking lots here that just decided they had nowhere to go, because this closure comes at a time when it's already busy in the high country with spring break crowds that have already booked all the hotel rooms. So there really wasn't a whole lot of options for people who were stuck in Summit County. They ended up just sleeping in their cars. The storm, as I was saying earlier, is a pretty interesting one, because here in Silverthorne and Dillon, really only a few inches of snow, maybe 2 or 3, but then you look at Keystone, which is just a few miles down the road, and they're approaching a foot of snow from this storm. So Ed, this has been an interesting storm in the mountains, where we've seen pockets of just pounding snow and then just light snow in areas.
Yeah, same here for Denver, Matt. We've got some heavy snows, and then we've got a little no snow, and then the snow returns once again. So the storm, because it is so volatile, we'll see stuff like that go on, and different snow amounts as well. Let's take a look at what we have right now. There it is, snowing in Denver downtown right now, 36 degrees, 97% humidity. And you can see that snow moving all around the state, but look at that little dry slot, almost moving right down I-76, but then look north to Greeley, and the snow just fills right back in behind that slot, and that's what we will see off and on. Little breaks in the snow, and then it roars back. 30s is all we'll see today with that snow. We see early snow tomorrow, then we see clearing as the day goes on. Clear skies, sunshine by evening with a high of 40 degrees. Then a cool weekend, but partly sunny skies for both Saturday and Sunday, and mid-40s. We'll see 55 on your Monday. That's normal for this time of year. Even better on Tuesday with a high of 60 degrees.
All right, Ed, thank you. And a reminder, we do have expanded coverage of this storm today on 9 News. Our live team coverage is going to last until 1 o'clock this afternoon. And a programming note we want to pass along to you. Because of our extended coverage, the Today Show will move to KTVD starting at 7 a.m. this morning.
Now, CDOT has been working around the clock to ensure roads are cleared. We talked to them live in the next half hour about their plan for the rest of the morning and the day as the snow continues to fall. Good morning. We are following this massive March snowstorm this morning. No matter where you look, it is blanketed in snow. Several inches of snow with some areas measuring in feet.
It is too cold for anybody to be out. Severe weather shelters are currently open. The McNichols Civic Center building off of Colfax and the Stone Creek shelter, the former Best Western Hotel off Quebec, those are going to stay open until 9 a.m. on Saturday. Good morning, everyone. I'm Jordan Chavez here alongside Corey Rose. More than 200 schools and school districts also are closed today. We do have that list scrolling at the bottom of your screen. And we've also got a list on our website, 9news.com/closings.
All right, we have crews spread out all over Colorado right now. We do want to check in with Anusha Roy, who's been in the South Metro area. Anusha, we've been talking about this. We live out south. Man, it is rough this morning.
It definitely is. I want to give you a look at it, kind of what we're looking at right now. This is 25 South. We are south of Castle Rock. Honestly, this is better than what we were seeing about 10 or 15 minutes ago, closer to Castle Rock, Castle Pines area. Looks like this stretch of 25 might have just been plowed because it is definitely easier to drive on. But you can see the snow is still coming down. We've got semis with their hazards on. We've been seeing that consistently on 25 in both directions. There was a portion of Castle Pines where we just came to a complete standstill because cars were stuck in the snow, semis were stuck behind them, people were having a hard time, kind of getting out of the snow and being able to get any kind of traction to be able to move. It's taking us twice as long to get to places than, on any kind of regular morning. And, obviously Douglas County schools right now shut down for today. They're monitoring the situation for tomorrow as well. And I know that work-life balance is so hard when you got to work and your kiddos are at home. I know my toddler's at home today, but just based off of what I've been seeing all morning, definitely the safest bet is to be at home. Like, these are not roads that you want to be out on this morning. Even the inner roads, slick. There's piles of snow everywhere. It's hard to walk through, hard to drive through as well. So take advantage of that snow day, stay home, stay warm, and try to stay off this stretch of 25 and the roads as much as possible. I'm going to go ahead and send it back to Ed now.
Thank you, Anusha. And you make some great points there about that snow. And the thing is, it's just not going to get any better today. Now, what we're looking at, mainly the storm is right through the heart of the state and down to the southwest. Not a lot of snow over the northwest, as you see, and no warnings or watches for the east. So the closer you get to the border area, you see much less, if any, snow. But right through the center of the state, and that's where Denver is, that's where the heaviest snow is. The winter weather advisory continues till 6 a.m. tomorrow, and so does the winter storm warning. Metro, 10 to 20 inches. Foothills, 2 to 4 feet of snow could fall. So here are the temperatures that go along with it at this hour. We're seeing mostly 30s across the eastern plains, some 40s down here, really from McCook, Colby, Burlington, Lamar, Springfield. That cold air hasn't gotten there. They're in the 40s right now. Colder air up along the front range with the snow. Teens, 20s for the high country, 20s and 30s out to the west. So today, cloudy, cold, 35 degrees, and we will see snow heavy at times. And you might even see breaks in the snow, but the snow will come right back. The storm warning continues till 6 a.m. Friday, 10 to 20 across the metro. 40 degrees tomorrow. We see snow early, but sunshine late as this system winds down and moves out of here. 45 on Saturday, so it's going to be cool for the weekend, but we will see partly sunny skies. Then on Monday, we're at 54 degrees, about normal for this time of year with mostly sunny skies. 60 as spring arrives at 9:06 p.m. on Tuesday.
Ed, thank you so much. Right now, we are checking a live look from our CDOT cameras. Pretty much two different stories out there right now. I-225, those are the top cameras, I-225 and I-70. You can see not a lot of snow out on the roads. Very different story for those taking I-25. Anusha was giving us a live look from I-25. So this is right near the ramp if you're heading eastbound E-470 or if you're taking Lincoln Avenue. You can see it is snow packed, and it's that snow that's really mushy out there. So definitely want to take it easy this morning. If you really have to get out, you give yourself plenty of extra time. We are seeing cars head south and northbound. You can see those driving conditions. When Anusha was showing us those driving conditions, they were not great. Not the best time to be out on the road. So I do want to switch things over to our main graphics and kind of show you this map, I-70 Golden to Silverthorne. We've been talking about this all morning. That road has been closed for a couple of hours. I-70, you won't be able to get through. We have seen a traffic jam out there. That's because people have absolutely nowhere to go this morning. Now, other parts of our area in the Denver metro area, we were tracking a crash if you were heading up to Boulder. That was US 36. That has since cleared up. Of course, we do have a colorful map at the moment. That's just because snowplows are out on the road. Again, if you have to get out this morning, just give yourself plenty of extra time. If not, please stay home.
Great advice, Brianna. Thank you. This winter weather storm is going to cause some slippery and dangerous road conditions throughout the day, and plows will be out trying to keep up with the storm and keep those roads clear.
That's right. So joining us this morning is Matt and Zio once again with CDOT. Matt, good morning.
Good morning. Thanks again for having me.
Absolutely. Well, Matt, we last heard from you that I-70 is closed between Golden and Silverthorne. What are conditions looking like on roads right now?
We're seeing a little bit of a let up in the snowfall. The biggest issue on I-70 is that we continue to have CMVs, semi trucks that went up into the high country. They weren't following the chain laws and started to spin out and block up the road. It's going to take a little while to dig them out. They're bigger, heavier vehicles, and we don't have a lot of operating room there. So that process is going to be our biggest holdup to reopening I-70. Up through the high country and into Summit County. A little closer to the immediate metro area, our crews have been able to stay on top of the roads. But it's like you all were saying, south of town, west of town continue to be the hardest hit areas. And our crews are going to be continuing to work there through the day.
And Matt, we saw that just a second ago with Anusha's live shot. She was on I-25 and it didn't
even look like the highway.
Right. It was really snowpacked, and she said plows had just gone through. So again, we are so thankful for all of the plow drivers out there. They're the heroes this morning, trying to make it as safe as possible. But as you're saying, this snow is just coming down too fast to really keep up with it.
Exactly right. When we see snowfall rates this intense, this is what we've been worrying about really since Tuesday. And frankly, as long as this storm is staying on top of us, and that's going to be all day, these sorts of extreme conditions are going to exist. It's why, if you have the choice, staying home is the safe choice.
Yeah, Matt, I wonder if you can touch on that a little bit more and elaborate, because we are still seeing some cars out on the roads right now as we have a live look at some of the highways. Of course, we do know that there are some essential workers that absolutely have to be out, so we're trying to keep the roads as safe as possible for them. But if you can really drive the point home for people to stay home today, what would you say?
Exactly. Even on our biggest, busiest roads, you're going to encounter conditions that you might expect sometimes in the backcountry. There's just that much snow on the ground right now, and it's going to continue to fall all through the day. It means that if you do have to go out, you need to be prepared for a pretty extreme winter weather event. And frankly, it's why if you can stay in a safe spot, if you're home, stay there and enjoy the snow day, because getting really outside of your immediate area is going to be far more difficult than you might imagine. Even if it's just getting out of a subdivision or getting out to a main road, you're not going to see conditions that you might expect in a typical snowstorm even.
Boy, is that true. And Matt, again, we are so thankful for all of the plow drivers out there, and a reminder, do not pass them. Not only is it very dangerous, it's against the law. So give them the space they need so that they can make the road in front of you as safe as possible. It's a really good reminder. Matt, thank you so much for joining us.
Now, we are continuing our full coverage of the storm. Keely Chalmers is in the foothills this morning. Keely, models were showing some heavy snow in that part of the state. What are you seeing this morning?
Yeah, good morning. We are live on Highway 36 near Superior. We're heading eastbound. I want to give you a live shot, a look at the roadway. This is Highway 36. You can't even see the lines on the road. I mean, it is like winter traveling, except for when you go under overpasses, you actually get to see some of the road. But yeah, I mean, it is snow covered. It is slick. Lots of snow you can see on the side of the road as well, kind of piled up. So obviously plows have been through. But again, as soon as they plow, more snow comes down. So again, a choppy drive, a slick drive. We've seen several cars that have spun out on the side of the road. Again, we're heading eastbound on Highway 36. Conditions very similar for folks heading westbound on Highway 36. So again, we've been out and about all morning long. We've seen the plows, but again, they plow, the snow keeps coming down and it keeps piling up. Conditions still slick. So obviously we've been talking about this all morning, but if you can if you don't have to hit the roads, don't do it. They are slick, and they're just going to get slicker, even with the plows out and the crews out in force. Conditions are still tough. We'll be out and about throughout the morning, keeping you posted on the road situation here in Boulder County. For now, we'll send it back to you guys.
And I'm Matt Renew, live in Silverthorne, where the snow continues to come down as it's been doing since yesterday. And as we usually see with storms like this is the town that gets hit as far as big traffic problems when I-70 closes, and that's what's happening right there. This is the eastbound I-70 closure where all that westbound traffic had to come to a stop, and it has been stopped here since last night. We've got some video that shows some of the traffic now just parked alongside Highway 9. This is Highway 9 between Silverthorne and Dillon. Semi-trucks and cars have just parked here since last night, waiting for I-70 to reopen, and they got really no place to go. If they're not parked here, they're parked in parking lots around Summit County. A lot of people weren't able to get hotel rooms because those have filled up because this is a busy spring break week, and so they're just been camping out and sleeping in their cars all night. This closure now going up to 10, 11 hours on I-70 without any place for people to go. And so they're going to be sitting here for a little while until CDOT can open up the interstate. We just heard from CDOT, who said there's a lot of semi trucks that went in and out of the mountains and then didn't have the proper chaining equipment and got stuck. And of course, those need big wreckers to pull them out, and that takes a lot of time. Mountain Recovery here in Silverthorne does a lot of that work, and I just looked at their Instagram page. They usually post all sorts of updates. They're so busy they can't even do that. That's how this storm has impacted the high country. And so this storm's still having an impact in the mountains, really just about 3-4 inches of snow in the Silverthorne-Dillon area, but Keystone just a few miles down the road nearing a foot from this storm. So there are pockets where it has really come down, and it is going to continue to come down here in the high country. We're reporting live from Silverthorne. I'm Matt Renew. Jordan, I got to tell you, a Sara Lee semi truck just pulled up full of sandwiches. So all is not lost here in Silverthorne. There is hope.
It sounds like your prayers have been answered, my friend.
Yeah, I'm going to go ask that guy who's going to just open that thing up, back it up to the news truck so we can have an early lunch.
Unload.
I like your plan. I like the way you think, Matt. All right, thank you. Well, we put everything you do need to know about this storm in one easy place. That includes a link to the radar, the forecast, the closings, and a lot more information to get you through this storm safely. All you have to do is text the word SNOW to 303-871-1491, and we're going to send you a text with all of that information. And of course, we're tracking this storm and all of its traffic impacts very closely for you. You can always stay up to date on our 9 News app or streaming on 9 News Plus. Ed?
And what we're seeing right now is the latest satellite and radar picture, and you can see that little dry slot that we had. Look at it move on into Denver, and then it immediately fills right back in. So yes, you may see little breaks in the snow. Does not mean that this storm is over. Temperatures only in the 30s today. That's from Aurora all the way up to Greeley and Fort Collins, and we will see snow around here all day long.
And of course, the big talker this morning, all that snow. We're seeing snow-packed roads all across our state. Right now, we're giving you a live look from our CDOT cameras, several of our CDOT cameras. I-25 for those near Founders Parkway or Happy Canyon Road. You can see those top 2 cameras. A lot of snow, not a lot of cars out this morning. And that's kind of what we love to see because, of course, these are not the conditions that you want to be driving in. And then, of course, the bottom cameras, I-70, that's near Idaho Springs. I-70 right now, it is shut down from Golden to Silverthorne.
Let's take another live look outside right now. This is downtown Denver and Ball Arena blanketed in snow. While March is snow madness here in Colorado, we get some big storms. The cyclones tend to be stronger, there's more moisture available, and the storms frequently move into an area that takes better advantage of that moisture. On March 13th of 2019, 2021, and now 2024, the city saw major weather events. In fact, 6 of the top 20 biggest snowstorms to ever hit Denver happened in the month of March. That includes the Pi Day storm of 2021, which brought 27.1 inches to the city, making it the 4th largest of all time. I remember that one. It's not just snowfall that makes March storms ferocious. High winds can often make those drifts the worst part of it. The March 2019 bomb cyclone buried cars in 7-foot snow drifts in the southeast metro area, while Denver's official snow reached 7.1 inches. So it just shows you to what that wind can do. Ed is joining us now, and several more inches of snow expected today and even more overnight.
Yeah, from everything you were just talking about, this storm system might end up right on that list. Here it is in Breckenridge, snowing like crazy up there. Also Copper Mountain snowing like crazy up in the high country. Downtown here, it looks foggy and hazy. That is the snow that is coming down, and the temperature stands at 36 degrees at this hour. Showers and thunderstorms, maybe some tornadoes off to the east. That's a warmer system. We're in the colder system, of course, so we've got snow around here, all up and down the Front Range and portions of the mountains down to the southwest. And you can see this dry slot moving in right there, but as soon as it does, the snow just comes down from the north and fills in that area. So you may see a little break in the snow at some times. It's right there, and then the snow fills right back in. So that's the way it's going to be off and on all day long. Light snow to heavy snow to, hey, I don't want to go out in this kind of snow. Here it is at 6 o'clock tonight, and you can see the white is representing the snow, but the purple within the white, that's the heaviest of the snow. And the heaviest snow is down from Fort Collins through Denver and right to the southeast, and that's where the heavier snow will be tonight at 6 o'clock. So it is still snowing. Tomorrow morning, a little less snow, but we still see some heavier snows, especially down over the southern mountains, and then it begins to break up. By noon, we see a little bit of sunshine, and by evening, we see mostly clear skies along the Front Range as the snow winds down in the high country. Continuing with the winter weather advisory until 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. Also, the winter storm warning until 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. That's how long this storm is going to go. 10 to 20 inches over the metro area. Foothills, 2 to 4 feet of snow is possible with this system. Highs to go along with that only in the 30s and 40s along the Front Range, but where you don't see the cold air, look at the 50s here in portions of Kansas and Nebraska today. We'll see 30s and 40s for the mountains and mostly 40s out to the west. Lows tonight also in the 20s and 30s east. We'll see teens and 20s for the high country, 20s and 30s out west. And your forecast. Cloudy, cold, snow, heavy at times today, 35 degrees. Well, winter storm warning continues until 5 a.m. 10 to 20 inches of snow possible across the greater metro area. Cloudy skies tonight, but overnight, another 3 to 5 could fall with a low of 28. Then by tomorrow, little snow early in the morning. It ends as the day goes on. Yes, we'll see the sunshine with a high of 40 degrees. A cool weekend, but at least it's partly cloudy for both Saturday and Sunday, St. Patrick's Day. Monday, we're at 55, normal for this time of year. Tuesday, we're at 60 degrees. Spring arrives at 9:06 in the evening. So the first day of spring comes on Wednesday, 63 degrees and partly sunny skies, and a little change for your Thursday.
Ed, thank you so much. 5:50 is your time for this Thursday morning. I do want to show you this camera from our CDOT cameras, I-70 and Brighton Boulevard. So if you're heading up to the airport, we're seeing a line of snowplows out there. So they are working very hard this morning. Give them plenty of extra time. Another live look of I-25 and Happy Canyon Road. This area right now, it is snow-packed. Conditions are not great. And of course, then we have I-70 where we're seeing that area is shut down both directions, both east and westbound. So I do want to switch things over to our main graphics and show you those road closures that we're seeing. This is from I-70 from Golden all the way to Silverthorne. That's where we're seeing that purple shaded area in our map. So again, you do not want to take I-70 because you won't be able to pass through. We are seeing basically a parking lot out there. Now, we were tracking a crash earlier for those heading up to Boulder. Right now, we're just seeing a very colorful map. Of course, all that snow that we're seeing, it's that slushy snow, that slick road conditions that we're going to see all throughout the morning. Northbound I-25, so all the way down for those in Castle Rock, right at Castle Pines Parkway, there's 2 left lanes blocked right now. That's because of a stalled vehicle.
Brianna, thank you. DIA is busy this morning. A lot of hopeful travelers out there this morning. We have a crew live there and the latest delays and cancellations from the airport after the break.
We are back at 5:54 now, and Ed's going to be back with your forecast in just a couple of minutes, of course, as we are seeing the snow continuing to fall this morning. Low visibility out there. Roads are a mess. Of course, plows are doing the best they can to clear it, but the snow is falling at such a fast rate, it is just covering them right up. And the weather, of course, causing some major delays and cancellations out at the airport this morning. Right now, FlightAware is reporting 32 delays and 802 cancellations at this time.
Yeah, so as for the wait times, bridge security is at 6 minutes. South security is at 7 minutes right now, 2 minutes for pre-check there, 3 minutes for pre-check. And then west security, really not much of a wait at all. 9 News reporter Lauren Scafidi joins us live from the airport. Lauren, despite the cancellations that we're seeing this morning, you say people overall seem to be in pretty good spirits out there.
Yeah, it seems like people have been through a lot, so they're really just happy to get on a flight this morning. It might not be the one that they scheduled, but they're just happy to be on a plane that is leaving Denver International Airport. DIA is very quiet this morning. This is not something that we typically see. When we first got here this morning, this hallway was full of people with pillows and blankets sleeping overnight, and security was packed. I mean, it was moving, but it was full. Take a look now. This is crazy. There is like nobody here. The line is completely empty. There is nobody in line. So if you are at a nearby hotel and you're going to be on your way over shortly, you should have no issues. Now, the hotel that we stayed at overnight was completely full, and the two next to it were full too. So there is a good chance that there are a lot of people staying there and on their way over here at some point this morning. But I talked to somebody from Fort Collins. She said that she was canceled 3 times and she was just happy to be on a flight this morning. I also talked to somebody from Highlands Ranch this morning, and she said that she wasn't sure she was going to make it to the airport because the weather was so bad. But good news is that as you get closer to the airport, it's a little bit clear. Our drive on Pena was pretty easy. I mean, the roads were definitely wet, but there wasn't any accumulation. So that is good news there. But yeah, the latest numbers, 802 cancellations and 32 delays.
Well, it makes you wonder, Lauren, if all those cancellations are why we're seeing those TSA lines clear up. I mean, good for the people who still have flights out. I know I was supposed to have one today. Unfortunately, not so lucky. I moved it to tomorrow, but good news for anybody who's lucky enough to make it out. Lauren, we appreciate your reporting. Thank you. We do have expanded coverage of this storm today on 9 News. Our live team coverage is going to go until 1 o'clock this afternoon. And a programming note that we want to pass along for you. Because of this extended coverage that I'm talking about, the Today Show will move to KTVD. That's going to start at 7 a.m. this morning.
And some folks have seen a little break in the snow and they said, hey, is it over? No, it's not over. Let's take a look outside and I'll show you just why. There it is, snowing downtown, snowing like crazy. 35 degrees out at the airport right now. Look at that humidity, 96%. You see that little dry slot move right into Denver there, but as soon as it does, watch from the north there, the snow comes down, fills right back in. So when you see those little dry slots, the snow will fill in right behind it. So only in the 30s today with snow all day long. We'll see snow early tomorrow morning. Today, maybe another 5 to 9. Overnight, we see another 3 to 5, but by 6 p.m. tomorrow, we have sunshine in the city and 40 degrees. 45 on your Saturday, 47 on Sunday with partly cloudy skies. Monday, we're at 55, seasonal for this time of year, and then Tuesday, 60 degrees with lots of sunshine.
We are continuing our storm coverage with our live crew spread out all over the state. That check-in coming up in just 60 seconds.
We kick off your 6 o'clock hour with a live look outside. This is over downtown Denver. Obviously low visibility as you can barely make out the skyline this morning. That snow from overnight continuing to fall this morning. It's going to continue throughout the day and even into tomorrow morning.
Let's take a live look right now at the Eisenhower Johnson tunnels. I-70 is already closed between Golden and Silverthorne in both directions.
And the roads are a mess out there. Check out this video from our viewer John Mitchell. This is Highway 6 at 119 last night, just east of Idaho Springs. You can see cars stuck and people out on the road.
Yeah, that's pretty much going to be the story for the next 24 hours or more. We know that this snow is just so deep in a lot of places. It's causing big ruts, and it's really slippery out there too.
Yeah, truly out there. So of course we got team coverage for you this morning. We've got Brianna on traffic, we've got Ed on your forecast, and we also have a live coverage across the state from the mountains to the foothills to the South Metro area. We're going to be checking in with everyone all morning long there. Of course, you can see in Corey Reppenhagen's shot that snow still really coming down. Look at the backup behind Matt Renew right now. Closed at I-70 from Golden to Silverthorne. We're going to be asking too about the people who are stuck in that closure.
Yeah, and coming up, we're talking to DIA as well about what they're seeing out there. But now we're going to change it over to Ed. Talk about the timing of this snow.
Yeah, the snow is going to kind of hang around today. We saw it change. It started as rain, then it changed over during the evening hours. And now we've got this heavy snow. Going to continue heavy today with 5 to 9 additional. Overnight tomorrow, tonight into tomorrow, we have another maybe 3 to 5 inches of snow. And also you see these little bit of dry spots. Look at the drier air moving right here. But as soon as it does, we see a pause in the snow and then it fills right back in. So yes, we will see this continuing snow, continuing easterly winds. That means continuing lift and upslope all along the front range today. And you can see where we have now, everything's been down to the south. We have those winter weather advisories and the winter storm warnings continuing today. And with that, we have temperatures mostly in the 30s and 40s over the eastern plains. 40s out to the east. We're not going to see much cooling, or as much cooling as we are. Then we'll see 20s up at the higher elevations. We see 20s and 30s out to the west. So here's the way it goes. Cloudy skies, snow heavy at times, 35 degrees. We do have that snow continuing for tonight into tomorrow morning. Then we start to see it end. We could see 40 with a little sunshine late in the day. 45 on Saturday, a cool Saturday. 47 on Sunday, St. Patrick's Day. 55 on Monday. And then 60, believe it or not, sunny skies, and spring arrives at 9:06 in the evening. Well, you saw that shot with Corey Reppenhagen where it is snowing very heavily. Let's go to him right now. Let's talk about that snow, Corey.
Hey, good morning, Ed. Yeah, we are in the midst of one of those classic March snowstorms, and it is going off big here in the foothills. I've got my yardstick out here because I'm optimistic. This is not a ruler type storm. We're hoping to maybe cover this entire thing right here, and we're about halfway there. Out here, I'm in Aspen Park right now, and right out here in front of us where we've kind of dug out our live shot, we've got about 10 and a half inches out here right now. This is on a kind of a paved part where a lot of snow melted initially. If I measure out on a car or a vehicle, you can see these vehicles are just absolutely pounded with snow right now. One of those is my vehicle, I believe, and I measured 14 inches just a few minutes ago out on that. So we are really getting hit pretty hard here along the 285 corridor. 285 is behind me back here. Haven't seen a lot of action out here, and hopefully it stays that way because 285 is open right now. And as long as we can keep the crashes to a minimum, they may be able to keep that going. So we're optimistic here. We have another 24 hours at least of snow to come here in the foothills. Just over the other side of the hill here on the I-70 side, we're getting plenty of reports already 2 feet in the Genesee, Blackhawk, Central City, Coal Creek Canyon area. So Jefferson County foothills certainly getting pounded. We're on the Aspen Park 285 side right now. We'll keep you updated on this area as we go through the morning. Let's check in with Keely to see how things are going in her area.
Yeah, good morning. We are live along Broadway in Boulder, where I want to give you a live look at the roadway in front of us, and you can see it has been plowed. The plows have been out in force, but if you look alongside of the road, you can see the slushy snow piling up. So certainly slick conditions. There are a few cars still out. We just drove up Highway 36. It is snow-packed, it is choppy, it is slick, and we have seen some cars slid off the roads there. So again, this is kind of the scene. The snow's coming down, even though the plows keep coming through, the snow seems to keep just piling up. I also want to mention about an hour ago, maybe an hour and a half ago, the power actually went out here in Boulder. It was only out for about a minute. But yeah, it was dark, and then it came back on. Some of the signals here flashing, as you can see, one of those signals in front of me still. So, you know, if you're heading out, which of course the powers that be, the traffic officials are asking folks not to, just be aware of some of the situations. We did see some down branches. That means potentially down power lines as well with this thick, heavy snow. Of course, we will be out and about throughout the morning, keeping you posted on the situation here in Boulder County. But for now, let's head south down to Castle Rock, where my colleague Anusha is monitoring the snow and traffic situation down there. Anusha.
Hey, good morning, Keely. Yeah, we got a little bit of a bumpy, slow ride on I-25 right now. I'll give you a look at what we're looking at right now, getting through Castle Rock, heading up to Greenwood Village. I have to say that one of the things that I've noticed throughout all of our drives since about 4 this morning is that every time we're trying to find an exit ramp or a road to turn on to kind of flip around, we sometimes can't even tell where the road is. We don't even know if a road is there. That is how much snow is on the road right now and how hairy this drive is. The reason we are going to Greenwood Village is I just chatted with South Metro, who said that they were called out 9 times so far for tree limbs falling on electrical lines. That has then caused some fires and some power outages everywhere from Greenwood Village to Centennial to some spots in Jefferson County as well. So we're going to be checking out what's going on there. They also said that they've got snowplows specifically for their emergency crews to plow the roads ahead of them to be able to get out to emergencies. So far, they have not been needed, but that they are ready to go if that is the case. And just based off of what we are seeing, 25, the side roads, it is a slick and at times pretty scary ride. I mean, at this point, this is better than what we were seeing 10 or 15 minutes ago. So my photographer Joe and I are breathing a little bit easier right now. We'll give you an update as we get closer to Greenwood Village as well. For now, we're going to send it back to Brianna for a check on your traffic.
Yeah, right now that's what we're seeing all across the Denver metro area as well as in the mountains. So I do have several CDOT cameras to show you I-70 and Brighton Boulevard. So if you're heading up to the airport, conditions there looking good. We are seeing those wet roads. I-270 and York Street, same story as I-70. But this is where I do want to show you for those in Highlands Ranch, C-470 and University Boulevard. Visibility there, not great, but you can see cars are moving slowly through there, especially if you're taking those east or westbound lanes. And then we have C-470 eastbound at I-70. So again, you definitely want to give yourself plenty of extra time. And then if you don't have to get out today out of your house, stay in, of course, because the road conditions are not great. So northbound I-25 at Castle Pines Parkway, 2 left lanes right now blocked off because of a stalled vehicle. Of course, that is the only thing that I'm tracking right now. If anything changes throughout the morning, I'll definitely keep you updated. Stay safe out there.
Sounds great, Brianna. Thank you. Not surprisingly, more than 300 schools, school districts, and businesses are closed today.
That's right. We've got a list scrolling on the bottom of your screen, and you can also find that list on our website, 9news.com/closings.
We want to see how you're spending the snow day. When my kids found out it was a snow day, let me tell you, it was like Christmas morning. Text us your pictures, 303-871-1491. We've already gotten a ton so far. Check out these. A lot of patio furniture pictures.
It's the standard measurement for a lot of people, right?
Look how much snow some of these areas have already seen. Again, we're expected to get 5 to 9 more inches of snow throughout the day, even more overnight. I'm hoping that the snowman picture will pop up because it is impressive.
Yeah, so that's from our friends Brad and Becca in Highlands Ranch. Of course, a lot of the snow coming down. They're very heavy this morning, but this is the perfect snowman making snow,
it is,
right?
yeah.
Like that heavy, wet stuff. It stinks to shovel it.
There it is.
But if you're like Brad and Becca there in Highlands Ranch, look at that snowman. And we got another one right next to it, too.
It is impressive. All right, so if you had a flight booked today, Like my friend Jordan here, best to check before you make any plans.
Truly.
Because more than 800 cancellations already this morning. We're also hearing, though, that some flights might have been getting out this morning.
Yeah, which is some good news. And IM's reporter Lauren Scafidi joins us live from Denver International Airport, where the situation has been changing pretty quickly there. Earlier, TSA was pretty filled up. Now, Lauren, it looks like it's pretty empty behind you.
Yeah, we've really seen a lot of changes since we first got here at 4 o'clock this morning. Right now, Denver International Airport is very quiet, and it is because there are 802 cancellations right now. But take a look. If you're on your way to the airport in the next couple of minutes, you are going to fly right through security. There is absolutely no line. So this is one of those situations where if you're going to get here, you want to make sure you have your license ready, because you're not going to have that time in line to fidget around with your stuff and dig it out. You are flying right through security if you're getting to the airport in the next couple of minutes. Now, this is a much different picture than it was when we first got here this morning. When we first got here, you see that bathroom sign. The line went all the way around the bathroom sign, and it was full, but it was moving pretty quickly. Now you can see there's really nobody here. Again, 802 cancellations this morning, more than 30 delays. There were also quite a few people standing in the hallway where I am now. They were sleeping here. Now, this wasn't the traditional cat nap that you see in the airport. You know, these people had pillows and blankets, so I'm guessing that this was something that was planned. Good news, as you make your way closer to the airport, travel is going to be a lot better. Obviously, we've shown you live conditions all around the area, but as you get closer to the airport, Jordan, Corey, we had no issues on Pena, which is great. You know, I mean, the roads were obviously wet, but there wasn't any accumulation.
Okay, a bit of good news in the middle of this storm. Lauren, thank you. Let's get a check of your forecast now with Ed.
All right, as we take a look at our live satellite and radar, you see that snow along the front range. Now watch Denver. You see a little dry pocket coming right there, but it fills in right behind it. So, yeah, you may see a pause in the snow, but it'll be right back again. And look down near Pueblo, just east of that city, showers and thunderstorms going on right now with some pretty heavy rains. Temperatures we will see from the northern front range from Aurora all the way up to Greeley with that snow today, only in the 30s.
And right now we're taking a live look from our CDOT cameras. You can see a line of cars right now along I-70. Right now, Colorado State Patrol, they just tweeted out some brand new information saying that eastbound I-70 right at Floyd Hill is completely blocked by stuck vehicles. Plows cannot get through. So Colorado State Patrol as well as CDOT, they are sending out resources right now. They have no ETA on when I-70 will reopen. So just keep that in mind for that morning drive.
All right, Brianna, thank you. Well, this storm is causing serious issues on our roads. We're going to check in with CSP Live next. And we have put everything that you need to know about the storm in one easy place for you. That includes a link to the radar, the forecast, the closings, and a lot more information to get you through this storm safely. All you have to do is text the word snow to 303-871-1491, and we're going to send you a text with all of that information.
Welcome back. We do want to check back in with Excel right now. We have Andrew Holder with Excel joining us on the phone. Andrew, it sounds like you guys just wrapped up a big operation.
Yes, ma'am, and good morning, and thank you for having me on. As we've kind of progressed through this morning, we've had a number of outages that got called in at like 2 a.m., 3:30 a.m., 5:30 a.m. We've had about 165 crew and members and staff that were on call throughout the night. And then we're also getting a number of crews that are going to be starting here at 6 a.m. That are going to be responding to outages. As of right now, we have about 227 outages, about 15,000 customers that are out of power right now. Our crews are working efficiently and safely to get those outages restored. Those are generally along the foothills area and in the western metro area.
Well, Andrew, we know that this storm is definitely going to cause some trouble for your crews out there. We're very thankful for the work that they're doing. What do y'all have in place as this storm goes on?
So we're going to have, like I mentioned, those crews that are going to be on standby. They're going to be rolling on 16-hour shifts. Once we start the 7 a.m. hour, we also have an influx of more crew members that come on to regular scheduled timelines. They also, we have stopped any normal operational work here today. We've moved into our escalated ops so that our crews can respond to outages that get called in more efficiently and get out there onto the roads. Restoration times are going to differ depending on where the outage occurs, just due to the difficult travel conditions with some of the snow that we're seeing out on the roads.
Well, Andrew, we really appreciate you giving us a call back. Again, they're working on a power outage right now in the Front Range Boulder area. 15,000 customers right now without power. But I know you guys have crews that have been spread out, have been prepared for this, have been working overnight. So we really appreciate all the Excel crews out there. Andrew, thank you.
Thank you, guys. You guys have a great and safe day. Thank you.
You too.
All right, let's take another live look outside right now. Downtown Denver and Ball Arena blanketed in snow. Again, we have been seeing snow overnight, still falling today, expecting another 5 to 9 inches just today and then even more overnight.
Yeah, right now, let's get to some video from a viewer in Idaho Springs. They live on Virginia Street, north of Clear Creek. In the note they sent with these images, they told us they were buried more than 20 inches as of 5 a.m., this person told us.
The snow has been falling fast. Check out this time lapse from our 9 News backyard. You can see when we started recording 12 hours ago, a very different story than what it looks like right now. And Ed, you're saying that some people might be seeing a little lull in the snow, but there's a lot more still to come. This is not over.
Well, exactly right. It is such a powerful system. It's a little volatile. So you get little breaks in the clouds as it's trying to rush up against the Front Range. So you see a little bit of a break. Looks like the snow is over, and then that will fill right back in. I'll show you what I mean in just a moment. First of all, this is Copper Mountain up there. Yeah, it is snowing in the mountains. Breckenridge also seeing some snow. This is Lookout Mountain right now. You can barely see a few lights here. That's how heavy the snow is coming down at this location. And you can't see much. Also downtown, we've got some snow and rain on the lens, but you do see some gusty winds down there, and with that, 36 degrees out at the airport officially. Now, here's what we were talking about. As we take a look at our storm system over our area, every now and then you'll see a little dry slot move right in. Now, as soon as it does, watch it move right into Denver. We see the snow come down from the north, and so that covers that right up once again. We'll continue to see the easterly winds, and that is the upslope. So when you see things moving into the east, that's the lift you need to keep this snow going, and it's going to go pretty much all day long, all up and down the Front Range. But down here we have showers and thunderstorms going on because they're in a little bit warmer air. And really, as you take a look, we will see snow, and this is from the northern border all the way down into Lincoln County at 5 o'clock this afternoon. The white represents snow. The purple within the white, that's the heaviest snow. So that's where the heaviest snow is going to be going on. But look at further east. We have rain showers, so they may not see any snow at all, just rain out on the eastern plains. And so with the northwestern portion of the state, they may not see a whole lot of snow. So not everybody's getting buried, but a lot of people are. Here it is at 6 a.m. tomorrow. We will see some snow around here, and then by noon, maybe a little peek at the sunshine, and that just continues. And up and down the Front Range, we'll see clear skies by 6 p.m. tomorrow evening, and snow winds down up in the higher elevations. Until 6 a.m., we continue with that winter weather advisory and also the winter storm warning, 10 to 20 inches across the metro area, and again in the foothills, could see up to 4 feet of snow. We're going to see some real gee whiz amounts out of this. Temperatures in the 50s as you look to the east. That's why they've got rain out out there, but then we see 30s up against the Front Range, 30s and 40s for the mountains and west as well. Lows tonight, 20s and 30s east, teens 20s for the high country, 20s and 30s out to the west. So here's your Denver forecast for today. Cloudy, cold, snow, heavy at times, maybe another 5 to 9 inches today with 35 degrees. That winter storm warning continues until 6 a.m. Overnight, we could see another 3 to 5 inches with a low of 28. And then tomorrow we start to see it clear. Morning snow, sunshine by afternoon, 40 degrees. 45 on Saturday, a cool weekend, but a partly sunny one. St. Patrick's Day is Sunday, 55 on Monday, normal high for this time of year. 60 on Tuesday, spring arrives at 9:06 p.m. So your first day of spring, that's Wednesday, 63 degrees and partly sunny skies, and more of the same for your Thursday.
And thank you so much. Happy Thursday, everyone. If you're heading out the door this morning, which you probably shouldn't, you should probably stay home because we're seeing a lot of snow out there, slick road conditions, wet road conditions. We're seeing several of our CDOT cameras right now. I-70 for those up in the mountains, then I-25 Plum Creek Parkway. You can see visibility there, not great. We're seeing a lot of snow plows out there as well. They are trying their hardest, so please give them extra time. Then we have I-25 at 20th Street and then I-25 and Meade. Again, we're seeing a lot of cars out on the road, but they are taking it easy. We are not seeing crashes. We saw one earlier this morning for those in Boulder, but as of now, it is quiet. Of course, give yourself plenty of extra time. We have seen cars spin out this morning. So I do want to switch things over to our main graphics because that camera that I just showed you up in the mountains, I-70 from Golden to Silverthorne. Colorado State Patrol, they just tweeted out that that area right now is shut down. Of course, both directions. It's been like that for a couple of hours now. We know people are stuck there. There's a line of cars. So give yourself actually, you can't even go through there. So if you're heading out the door right now, that area will be closed. So they said that they can't get through. They are sending out resources, and right now there is no ETA on when they will reopen. Now, we were tracking a crash earlier this morning in Boulder. Now we have another crash that just popped up. Southbound E470 at Parker Road. We don't have any cameras there, but crews just arrived on scene, so give yourself plenty of extra time if that's part of your morning drive. And then all the way down to Castle Rock, we were seeing a stalled vehicle northbound I-25. 2 left lanes were blocked off. Right now, again, those road conditions not great all the way down south.
Brianna, thank you. The roads are tough, if not impossible this morning, and that will continue today as we expect another 5 to 9 inches at least of snow over the course of the day.
Yeah, we have Colorado State Patrol Trooper Gabriel Moulter on the phone with us. Good morning.
Good morning.
I just want to ask really quickly, we're following the information that you're putting out very closely. We understand eastbound I-70 at Floyd Hill is completely blocked by stuck vehicles. What can you tell us about this situation this morning, Trooper?
So with that area, and especially with this accumulation of snowfall, it is making it very tricky for some vehicles to be making it through Floyd Hill right now. Crews are going to be working to get those cleared up as quickly as possible. If you do have to go out today, make sure that your vehicle is going to make it if you're going to be traveling through mountain roads such as Floyd Hill.
And what about an ETA on when that's going to open up for people who may need to drive through the area, essential workers, anything like that?
Right now, I do not have an ETA. Hopefully, they'll be able to get that cleared up as quickly as possible, just so that way that we can keep the traffic moving that does have to travel through there.
So this morning we also got a call from someone who was saying that they have a family member that's stuck on I-70. We know that I-70 is closed in both directions at the Eisenhower Tunnel there. And again, we saw a lot of accidents there along I-70 last night. So they're stuck along I-70. They've been stuck for several hours now. What is the process of getting those people out?
So we're going to try to assist as many people as we can. It just takes that little bit of time to try to get through all of that, especially when the crashes are coming in, because we have to make sure that we get those cleared up and out of the way. If not, we're not going to be able to make it through those areas. So it does become a little bit tricky, because through all of that, we do have to try to maintain the rest of the road as we go along with it. And then at the same time, if we start getting through to there and then they start happening farther up, it's going to also cause congestion still backing up, because then vehicles aren't going to be able to move forward.
Absolutely. Well, Trooper Moulter, we appreciate your time this morning. For any of our viewers at home wondering just how bad it is, what we are describing here, this is a live look at I-70 right now. This is exactly what the trooper is describing, as well as what we're hearing from some of our viewers calling in this morning. So, Trooper, we appreciate your time. Thank you very much.
And you guys have a safe day.
Absolutely, you too. Well, all this snow means a high avalanche danger. This is the map from the Colorado Avalanche Information Center. They say today and tomorrow there might be closures for avalanche mitigation around Loveland Pass, Berthoud Pass, and the Eisenhower Tunnel.
Our man in the mountains, Matt Renew, is tracking snow in the Silverthorne area this morning. Matt, a lot of snow coming down up in the high country.
You bet, Corey. You know, good morning. A lot of snow that's caused a lot of problems for people driving through the high country. Eastbound I-70 has been closed since last night. We're going up to like 11 hours of this closure right now. A lot of people heading east. We're on the west end of the closure, got stuck here in Summit County. Couldn't find a place to stay. We've got someone right here. Marianne is your name, yes?
True.
Marianne, what's your last name?
Curia.
And you are from Chicago. What happened to you?
So I was cruising. I spent a month in Vegas just for fun, and as I was traveling, I heard about the storm. Left early. Some man stopped me at this exit 205, and said, "You have to get off, or someone's going to hit you." So I got off. So then I was cruising around, no hotels available, and then I saw these semis and thought, "This is a safe place." So I'm hanging out here all night.
You've been here since like the closure started last night. You couldn't
7:30ish.
And you just couldn't find a room.
No rooms available. They laughed at me, actually. I didn't think it was too funny, but they did.
So what have you been doing to occupy your time all night?
Well, I have my pillow, my Winnie the Pooh pillow. So the system was you start the car, you get it warm for about 10 minutes, then you turn it off, you sleep for a half hour, you get cold, then you do the whole thing all over again, all night long.
Not a lot of sleep.
No. So I actually got a hotel room for tonight because I don't feel like I'm alert enough to take these mountains. So I'm going to stay. Hopefully this thing is open. No one can give me a clue on when this thing's opening, so it's very strange to me.
Well, we just heard from the State Patrol that it's just there's a lot of traffic, a lot of cars that still need to be removed, and so it could be a while yet. So at least you have a hotel room to rest up.
I do, and I'm thinking by tomorrow you guys are going to have all this cleaned up, right? Because that's how we do it in Chicago. We clean it up.
I think that's the plan, Marianne. And so I'm a little envious of the Winnie the Pooh pillow.
Okay. Back off. You can't have it.
So hopefully, Marianne and Ed, we've been talking about. Marianne wants to get going by Friday. What are the chances of this storm letting up a little bit and Marianne getting back to Chicago?
Nil.
I'm not going to tell her that, Ed.
Okay.
I don't like
very good chance, Marianne. A very good chance.
Yeah, the point we're kind of making here is this snow is going to continue to generate today, tonight, right on into tomorrow morning with snow that whole time. You can see the snow that we have right now, or you can barely see anything else. 34 degrees at this hour, 100% humidity. That's how wet and heavy this storm is. And you can see we had a little dry slot that moved into Denver. People thought the storm might be over, but as soon as that dry slot got here, look at how the snow just fills right in behind it. So yes, we will have the snow generate all day long, exactly like this, with 34 degrees. The high today, and again, that's the daytime high because we've already been warmer than that this morning. 40 degrees where we'll be tomorrow. We'll start out with a little snow, and then we will see sunshine return, believe it or not. Won't that feel good? And then on Saturday, we're 47 degrees with partly cloudy skies, more of the same for your Sunday. Monday, we're 58 degrees with sunny skies, and here comes Tuesday, 60 degrees and lots of sunshine.
Welcome back to our March snowstorm coverage. This is a massive storm that's dumping tons of snow right now from the metro area to the foothills to the high country. This is a live look outside the 9 News studios here at Spear and Logan, where you can see a lot of snow built up there.
On the camera as well. This is a live look now at the Eisenhower Johnson tunnels. I-70 is already closed between Golden and Silverthorne in both directions. That's why you're not seeing too much activity on this stretch of the highway. But we do have another live look at I-70 where you are seeing trucks at a standstill. Of course, they are working to clear those roads this morning.
Well, good morning, everyone. We have team coverage this morning. We are out in the backyard right now with Ed's very special umbrella.
And we gotta get you a new umbrella, my friend.
Somebody broke my umbrella. I'm not going to say who, but their initials are Brianna. Anyway, so we do have some snow out here right now, and it's going to continue today. Sometimes very, very heavy. Sometimes we get a little break, but I think another 5 to 9, and then we will see another maybe 4 to 6 overnight. Well,
it is coming down very fast out here in the 9 News backyard. Again, we do have team coverage. Right now, we want to kick things off with 9 News meteorologist Keely Chalmers. She is driving around in the Boulder foothills area. Keely, good morning. All right, we're having some technical difficulty. We do not have Keely right now. We're going to get a check of your forecast now with Ed.
Okay. Well, I'm going to have to go in and push the buttons. So here, take my broken umbrella.
I will take the broken umbrella.
And why we'll do that because
all of our reporters all over the metro area. You saw Matt Renew, who's up in Silverthorne. We have Lawrence Cafidi, who is joining us live at the airport as well. More than 800 cancellations out at DIA right now. And as Ed was mentioning, we're talking about another 5 to 9 inches at least falling today, and then even more overnight.
And surprisingly, from the airport, you know, we saw TSA backed up earlier this morning. It's been cleared out, and Lawrence Cafidi was reporting that a lot of people are happy because some people are actually finding flights out today. We got an interview coming up with DIA later this hour, and we're going to be asking them about that specifically.
All right, let's go now to Ed. Ed, I believe you made it in there too, and you've got the clicker and the jacket. There we go.
And the shot isn't even set for me. You see that? If I'm out, okay. As far as we're seeing it, what we're seeing is these little dry slots. There's a little dry slot moving in, and the minute the drier air moves in, the snow just fills it right up. So that's why you might see a break in the snow, but it will continue to snow pretty much off and on all day long. That's what we're seeing all up and down the Front Range. Got some showers and thunderstorms here, and the farther east you go, the less snow you see. In fact, it might be rain instead of snow out there, just through the heart of the state. That's where we've got the snow and down into the southwest, and we continue to see the winter weather advisory in the red, yellow, the light blue shaded area and the red shaded area. We see a winter storm warning that goes until 6 a.m. Yes, we'll continue to see snow today. These are the temperatures that go along with it. The temperatures are currently, and we won't see much difference in these temperatures all day long. 20s, 30s, and 40s, that's pretty much across the state. So 35 degrees today with cloudy skies, snow heavy at times with that winter storm warning till 6 a.m. tomorrow. 44 tomorrow with snow ending, and we'll see some sunshine. We'll see partly sunny skies over your weekend. We get into the 40s, 50s on Monday, and 60 on your Tuesday for the first day of spring. Well, actually, it arrives at 9:06 in the evening. Let's go back to Keely right now, out and about in this storm system. And Keely, what are you seeing at this hour?
Yeah, good morning. Well, the snow, it continues to come down and it continues to pile up on the roadways. As you can see, there, big piles, sometimes big chunks of snow, as you just saw, not only on the roadway, but I'm going to give you a side shot of some of the snow you can see kind of piling up along the side. And this is because the snow plows are coming through, as you can see right there, shoveling it off the streets, but making some pretty big snowbanks out there. Certainly wet and heavy snow that we're dealing with right now. But again, the plows have been out, so the main thoroughfares here through Boulder, we're in South Boulder right now on Table Mesa, looking pretty good. But again, the side streets, they are tough. They are snow covered, pretty thick. I'm thinking 4 to 6 inches, it's looking like, has fallen here in the Boulder area. We have seen some downed branches on the roads. We have to ditch or dodge a couple of those. We did have a power outage here in Boulder probably about an hour and a half ago. It lasted briefly, likely only about a minute, and then the power came on. So things obviously looking okay. Travel slow, the plows are out, But again, your best bet, especially on those neighborhood streets that are just covered in thick snow, is to stay home, and just watch all the snow coverage on TV, because we will be out and about throughout the morning giving you updates. That is an update here in Boulder. I know Corey Reppenhagen is out and about. I think he's in Aspen Park checking out the situation there.
Hey, good morning, Keely. Yeah, we're getting pounded up here in the foothills. The snow's been coming down pretty hard. When we signed off the 10 o'clock news last night, we had about 4.5 inches, and it's been piling up overnight out here. Just right out in front of me, I can measure about 11.5 inches. But this is actually a road that a lot of melting happened early. This is actually my Subaru back here that was parked. It was about just before 6 o'clock last night, so it's been just gathering snow out here. And on these colder surfaces, I can get a little bit of a more accurate measurement, because you actually measure, official snow measurements are taken on colder surfaces, and we've got 14 inches on top of my Subaru right here. So we're in Aspen Park, like Keely mentioned there, and we're staying at the Arrowhead Manor bed and breakfast out here. When we signed off the 10 o'clock news, it was just starting to really start to pound. And ever since then, overnight hours, this snow has been coming down really hard in the foothills. So we've got 14 inches here. On the other side of the hill, on the I-70 side, where Genesee, Blackhawk, Central City is, plenty of reports already coming in at the 2-foot mark. So that's why I've got my yardstick out here. My goal is to bury this thing, which is certainly a possibility, but 24 inches on this side of the hill certainly looks like something's coming our way. Or actually, I'm not sure if we're gonna check with the traffic, because Brianna, out here on 285, it is open. They are plowing it. They're trying to keep it open as long as they can, and hopefully that'll keep up through the morning, at least so we can get those emergency workers through here if they need to.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And we're seeing a lot of that across our state. I-70, of course, we've been talking about it all morning. It is shut down right now, both directions. But I do want to talk about this latest crash that just popped up about 5 minutes ago. It's a rollover crash. You can see that car right here on its side. This is I-225 at I-25, and crews just arrived on scene. This is why we're telling you, stay home, because those driving conditions right now are not great. Visibility is low, and then you also have all that snow right along I-225 and I-25, and snowplows are trying to get through. But of course, this is why people are slowing down in this area, I-225 and I-25. I'm going to stay on top of this crash and of course bring you the latest. So let's switch things over to our main graphics and talk about that road closure that we've been talking about all morning, and that's because I-70 has been closed for several hours. We heard from Matt Renew. He spoke to a woman there who's been stuck there for a couple of hours. Both directions, I-70 Golden to Silverthorne, you will not be able to get through. It is a parking lot out there. Now here, that's the crash that we've been tracking. If you're heading into I-225, heading into I-25, that's the crash that we just mentioned. It is slowing down. So if we zoom in just a tad a bit, we can get those drive times for you. You can see it's going to take you 17 minutes from Parker Road heading into I-25 this morning, and those speed times are coming in at 40 miles per hour. I'm going to stay on top of that crash and of course bring you the latest all throughout the morning.
All right, Brianna, thank you. Now to a different kind of travel. Of course, the storm is going to be a big headache for anyone trying to fly in and out of Denver today.
Right now, we know there are several delays, more than 800 cancellations out there at DIA. Ashley Forrest from Denver International Airport is on the phone right now. Ashley, good morning. Are any flights getting out this morning?
Good morning. Yes, flights are getting out this morning. Currently what we're seeing are wet surfaces. So aircrafts are able to land and depart from and to Den currently.
Wow, that's some good news for people who, maybe rebooked because they were worried about that. What do you say to people who had a flight today or tomorrow that they're iffy about maybe snow coming in later today? Are you telling them, maybe it's worth the chance to at least get out to the airport?
So what I would tell passengers is to continually check with their airline for the most accurate flight status information, and then as well as to give yourself time to actually get to the airport. We want our passengers to be safe at all times and to arrive at the airport at least 2 hours before their scheduled boarding time.
Ashley, it's very impressive what Denver International Airport has in terms of snow removal and all of the big equipment that you have out there to make operations go as smoothly as possible when big storms like this come in. Talk a little bit about that process.
So as you know, we have an award-winning snow fleet team, and our operations and maintenance team, they're prepared to plow roads, clear the runways, and de-ice planes. And our customer service representatives will be staffing on our concourses to assist passengers in the event that flights are canceled. And just a quick fact, did you know that we plow nearly 200 miles or roads during snow events, utilizing nearly 300 pieces of snow removal equipment?
Wow, okay, that's pretty impressive there. We're also taking a live look right now, Ashley, at TSA. Looks like lines are moving along just fine for anybody who is trying to make their flight today. So we appreciate you checking in with us this morning. We very much appreciate your time.
Perfect. Thank you.
And that is a live look from our Lawrence Cafidi, by the way, live at the airport. We're going to check in with her in just a little bit. One of the areas seeing a lot of the snow pile up, and I know this, I traveled in it this morning, the South Metro area. We're talking Castle Rock, Parker, Highlands Ranch.
Yeah, you're actually saying it's one of the scariest drives you've done in a snowstorm in a long time.
And I've been covering, I've been here in Colorado for 14 years. I've covered a lot of snowstorms. This one was really scary coming in.
Yeah, so let's check in with Anusha Roy. She's also in that area this morning, keeping an eye on things. She's traveling in the Greenwood Village area right now. Anusha, what are you seeing out there?
Oh my gosh, yeah, I would have to agree with Corey. This has not been a very fun drive at all this morning, and if you can, and I'm a little jealous of all the folks who are safe and sound at home, and try to keep it that way if that is possible for you today. This is our first look at some of the inner roads in Greenwood Village right now. It looks like plows have come through this area as well. It's a little bit easier to drive on, but definitely it is slow going, it is bumpy, it is slick, it is not a fun drive. The reason we are in this area is because we chatted with South Metro about tree limbs that have been falling. They've been called out 9 times now overnight, and they've fallen on electrical lines and then started small fires that led to power outages. So we're going to be checking out, what's happening in these neighborhoods. They said that's happened in Greenwood Village, in parts of Jeffco and Centennial as well. They've also got their very own plows out to be ready to plow out roads and pathways for their emergency crews if they need that help when it comes to responding to an emergency right now. They said so far they haven't needed it, but they're definitely going to have that on standby. So as soon as we get to this scene, we're going to check back in with you guys and share what we're seeing and what's going on. But for now, Jordan, I'm going to send it back to you.
All right, Anusha, we appreciate it. Now, not surprisingly, with what you're seeing from our crews out across the state, more than 300 schools, school districts, and businesses are closed today. We do have that list scrolling on the bottom of your screen to find out which ones are closed. You can also find this list on our website at 9news.com/closings.
All right, let's take another live look outside right now. This is Greeley, again, another area seeing a lot of snow right now, and we're expecting a lot more as the day goes on and into the evening.
And no surprise, the plows are out and about this morning. You can see them all across the metro area. They're those little blue dots you see on your screen. I-70 is already closed between Golden and Silverthorne in both directions. Our Brianna Fernandez will have a check on your traffic in just a couple of minutes. Now take a look at this. A viewer sent us this picture from Central City, and you can see the snow is almost the same height as the fence. That's how much is falling in that area.
And then Brad and Becca sent us this picture of their 8-foot-tall snowman at Spearwood Park in Highlands Ranch. Very impressive. Their dog Winston had to get in on the fun, of course. You can send us your pictures, 303-871-1491.
You know, that's the thing about this snow, Ed, is it's terrible to have to shovel it because it's the wet and heavy one. Feels like cement. But if you're trying to make a snowman, I think it's perfect.
Yeah, I think you're right. This is that perfect type of snow to do that. It packs really well. It stays together. It kind of freezes together. That's great, except getting in on the shovel, that's a whole different story. Here it is up in Breckenridge, snowing up there as you might expect. Copper Mountain snowing like crazy up there as well. And downtown, you can barely see some of the buildings, but nothing behind it because that's the snow that is falling right here in the city. We're 35 degrees out at the airport right now. We're just not going to warm up today. Showers and thunderstorms off to the east. maybe even some tornadoes. That's what they're dealing with. We're in the winter side of that storm system, and that's what we have. We have colder air, so it is snow, except down here near Pueblo. They've got some showers and thunderstorms going on. A little warm air is feeding into the southeast, so that's what they are seeing. The colder air continues to lift along the Front Range, so even when you see a little bit of a dry slot, watch it move in right here. All that snow just takes it right away, and that's what we will see today. A little snow might stop, and then it'll be right on back. And in fact, as we take it into the evening hours, this is at 6 p.m. From the northern border all the way down into Lincoln County, you can see this very heavy snow. White represents the snow, but the purple within the white, that's the heaviest of the snow, and that's what we will see pretty much all day long along the Front Range. Tomorrow morning at 6 a.m., we still have snow here, but then we start to see it end, and by early evening, clearing skies with snow winding down in the mountains as well. Before that happens, the winter weather advisory continues till 6 a.m., as does the winter storm warning. 10 to 20 across the metro area. Once again, the foothills could see up to 4 feet of snow. Temperatures to go along with that, 50s over the east. That's why they have rain out there in the eastern plains. Otherwise, as we get closer to the Front Range, temperatures are in the 30s and 40s, 30s and 40s mountains, and 40s out to the west. Lows tonight, 20s and 30s. So yes, 28 degrees. We'll keep that snow going. We'll see teens and 20s for the high country, 20s and 30s out to the west. So here's your Denver forecast. Cloudy, cold, snow, heavy at times, 35 degrees the high. Winter warning goes till 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. Cloudy skies with an additional 3 to 5 inches overnight with 28 the low. Then tomorrow we'll see clearing skies as the day goes on. Snow ends earlier in the morning with a high of 40, then 47 on your Saturday, 49 on your Sunday, 58 on Monday. Look at Tuesday at 60 degrees. 9:06 in the evening is when spring arrives, so the first day of spring will be Wednesday, 63 degrees. That's the warmest day of the week. 60 on your Thursday.
Ed, thank you so much. As you're waking up right now, we are seeing and tracking several crashes. 6:47 is your time for this Thursday morning. Right now, that rollover crash that I've been talking about, I-225 and I-25, you can see crews are on scene. That left lane is blocked off, and that car is on its side. So again, this is what we're seeing right now. More crashes as more people are heading out the door. I-25 right near 120th Avenue. Cars have spun out in that area. You can see we have crews as well. They're in the middle of the road, those vehicles, so you want to give yourself plenty of extra time or just stay home. Those conditions are not great right now. So let's switch things over to our main graphics. You can see 3 crashes that I'm tracking right now. Again, I-25 at I-225, that's the first crash that I mentioned. C-470 just after Wadsworth, that crash just popped up. But if you are taking I-25 heading into I-225, that's going to be a 17-minute drive. Those speed times are coming in at 40 miles per hour. And then also, we've also been talking about that closure, I-70 all the way from Golden to Silverthorne. Matt Renew was talking to some folks out there as well. Colorado State Patrol, they also tweeted out some information saying that right now they're trying to get those resources out there, but they can't because it is basically jam-packed out there. Cars are just lined up. It looks like a parking lot. We actually have Matt Renew right now. He is giving us a look in Silverthorne. Matt, you've been talking to some folks. You have someone right there, right next to you. What are they experiencing on your end?
We do. You know, it has been a long closure here, eastbound I-70. All that, we're on the west end of the closure, so all that traffic just stopped here, and it's been almost 12 hours now that I-70's been closed. A lot of people just been camped out in their cars because this is spring break weekend, and so hotels were filled up. But leave it to a Marine to be well prepared for a winter storm, even if he's not from Colorado, from Michigan. Robert Vlad joins us right now. Robert, you got your trailer right there, so you had it made last night.
Right. We got heated in there.
What happened? You guys got to Silverthorne and then you got no further.
Right. They well, first they said it was shut down at Vail, but we got through there, and once we got here, it's as far as they let us go.
So you guys have been, you and your wife have been camped out. You've been camped out literally in the parking lot here. And
that's it. That's how we're living right now.
What have you been doing to pass the time?
Sleeping in a nice warm camper.
You know, Robert, you could have charged $700 for that trailer right there last night. I bet, got away with it.
Well, I suppose, but they'd have had to throw me out, and that would have been tough.
Tough to throw a Marine out of his own camper.
Right.
Yeah, that ain't gonna happen.
No.
So hopefully you get rolling soon.
Yeah, from what I understand, it might not be too soon, but we're hoping. I got a brother up in here in Colorado, so we were on our way to visit him, and this is as far as we got.
This is as far as you got. Well, we're glad to have you, and thank you for your service in the Marines. We appreciate that. Yeah, and so Corey, Jordan, you know, the interstate remains closed, but Robert here has got it made right now because he's got the trailer right now. As soon as I find those Sara Lee sandwiches, we're going to have breakfast in there.
I was wondering if you got to that truck.
You make a good pair, Matt.
Right after I mentioned that truck, guys, that driver took off. He knew what he was up against. I was going to clean him out dry.
Well, please thank Robert for his service for us. And yeah, you've never been so happy to travel with a trailer before, I'm sure. All right, Matt, thank you. Let's get you a live look outside right now. This is in the 9U's backyard, the snowman ruler out there. We are measuring to see just how much is going to fall outside the 9U studios, and our live team coverage continues up next.
I wonder.
Airport, giving you a live look at what you can expect if you are flying out this morning. Take a look at security, really no issues there. If you arrive in the next couple minutes at least, you will fly right through. Again, no line as of right now at Denver International Airport. Also not an issue, the roads by the airport. Pena, completely clear. The roads are wet, but there is no accumulation. The latest numbers we have for you right now, 802 cancellations, 39 delays. I will continue to be live here at the airport all morning long to show you what you're up against.
And I'm Keely Chalmers live in Boulder, where the snow continues to come down and continues to pile up. I tell you, the roads, though, looking pretty good. The plows here in Boulder have been out in force, doing several rounds, keeping the roads clear, although the roads are piling up, or the snow, rather, is piling up a little bit along the sides of the roads as you can see, as the clouds move by and scoop up that snow. So far, so good. We haven't actually seen any accidents in town. We did see a few cars that had spun out on Highway 36. We also, about 2 hours ago, there was a power outage. It all went dark, but then the power seems to be restored, and those plows, they continue to do their rounds. Reporting live in Boulder, I'm Keely Chalmers. Back to you.
Keely, thank you. So we have expanded coverage of this storm today on 9 News. And Ed, you've been tracking this. I mean, this is just getting started.
Yeah, and this storm really came in just as we thought it would. Started as rain, changed over to snow. Now the snow is heavy. It's going to continue to be heavy today. In fact, it's going to continue to be heavy right on into tomorrow as well. So let's take a look at what we've got going on right now. And there it is, outside snowing like crazy right now. 33 degrees. So yeah, the temperatures are dropping, and 100% humidity. That's how much moisture is out there, and so much in the storm system. That's why it is so heavy. You can see the snow along the Front Range, but down around Pueblo, you see a little warm air moving in. They've got showers and thunderstorms going on right now. So as you take a look, that's what we're seeing. 34 degrees today, 40 tomorrow as the sun returns, and then we see the sunshine back, and temperatures, believe it or not, by Tuesday, 60 degrees.
Can you say that again? That sounds
60
really
degrees.
nice.
Amen.
Yes. So again, we have that extended coverage of this storm today on 9 News. Our live team coverage will last until 1 o'clock this afternoon. And a programming note to pass along because of our extended coverage, the Today Show will actually move over to KTVD starting at 7 o'clock this morning, and we will continue our coverage here on 9 News.
Yeah, our team coverage from all across the state continues right here on 9 News, so don't go anywhere.